I am a destitute, blind beggar husband, whose wife is the daughter of Jiangnan's richest man. Yet, I cannot find any joy in this. For I was brought here as a jinx to ward off bad luck. To perform a ritual for the dying old master. Plucked right off the streets. At this moment, I open my eyes. Golden light flashes behind my blindfold. After 10 days in this world, I've finally awakened the heavenly eye. I am not a local in these turbulent waters, but a lucky transmigrator. I arrived just as the Salt Gang and Chamber of Commerce clash for power. The Lu family is a giant in that chamber. And my cheap wife, Lu Wanqing, is the famous jewel of the Chamber of Commerce. Unfortunately, my status here is lower than a dog's. In this world where martial arts reign supreme, I am just a weak, blind man. But I'm not panicking anymore. Because a mysterious pharmacy has appeared in my mind. As long as I plant herbs in reality, I can gain a steady stream of martial cultivation and combat power boosts. Though my eyes still see no light, the star-eye world in my mind can perceive everything within 10 meters. Every detail is crystal clear, even clearer than seeing with real eyes. This is my heavenly eye, and my capital to survive this chaotic world. Right now, I am sitting in this dark, dilapidated woodshed. This is my official wedding chamber. But it's worse than where the servants live. The air is thick with the smell of damp mold. I am not discouraged. Instead, I pull a withered seed from my robe. I found it yesterday. In a corner of the Lu family garden. It's just an ordinary hemostatic herb seed. To others, it's already dead. But through my mind's eye, inside this seed, a faint trace of life still lingers. I take a deep breath, dig into the dirt with my fingers, making a small hole, and gently place the seed inside. Then, I connect with the pharmacy in my mind, guiding a tiny wisp of green energy through my fingertip and into the soil. A miracle occurs. The dry soil begins to tremble slightly. Nourished by that green energy, the tiny seed sprouts at a visible speed, pushing out a tender green shoot. A faint fragrance wafts from the sprout, bringing a touch of life to this moldy shed. Simultaneously, inside my head, an ethereal voice suddenly rings out. Hemostatic herb planted. Gained 5 units of true chi. 1 year of iron shirt technique. Progress, 1%. As the voice fades, a surge of warmth erupts from my core, becoming a hot current that sweeps through my entire body. My body, once stiff from hunger and cold, feels like it's soaking in a hot spring. Warm and cozy, extremely comfortable. I clench my fist, clearly feeling my muscle strength increase a bit. Though it's a small gain, it's the start of my path to power. This is my way to survive. As long as I keep planting herbs, I can gain a foothold in this dangerous family, and one day, master my own fate. While I'm immersed in this joy, heavy footsteps approach from outside, accompanied by the reckless laughter of servants. Did you hear? That blind beggar was assigned to haul water today. That's hilarious. A blind man can't even see the road, and he's going to the back mountain? He'll probably fall into the well and drown. Good riddance if he does. He just brings bad luck to the Lu family. He makes us look bad in all of Jiangnan. The door is suddenly kicked open violently. Cold wind mixed with the smell of dirt rushes toward me. My mind's eye instantly locks onto the 2 men outside. One is a tall servant supervisor, named Manager Zhao. Behind him is a fawning little servant. Zhao holds a thick wooden shoulder pole and tosses it to the ground. The pole hits the floor with a heavy thud. Lin Fan, get over here. Zhao's voice, full of disgust and contempt, echoes in the narrow shed. I say nothing, just submissively stand up, groping my way toward the door. To outsiders, I am still that slow, trembling blind beggar. Acting weak and helpless is my best protection for now. What's taking so long? What a waste of space. Zhao spits near my feet, his eyes full of disdain. If not for the master's ritual, you wouldn't even deserve to lie here. The backyard is short on wood and water. You useless trash. Since you're eating for free, go fill the vats on the back mountain. Miss even 1 bucket, and you won't eat tonight. I lower my head, my voice raspy and obedient. I understand. Manager Zhao, I'll go now. Seeing my submissive attitude, Zhao snorts, finding it boring. He waves his hand, turns, and leaves with the servant, cursing as he goes. What a spineless coward. He doesn't even fight back. Born to be a beggar forever. Once they are far away, I slowly raise my head. Under the blindfold, my lips curl up into a cold smile. Hauling water? This isn't a punishment. It's a perfect opportunity. The back mountain is secluded, rarely visited by anyone. The soil there is rich, and many wild herbs grow there. It's the perfect place to find new seeds. I lean down, Pick up the pole and buckets. My mind's eye has already mapped the surrounding terrain perfectly. Faking a limp, I slowly walk out of the Liu estate, toward the back mountain. Along the way, many Liu family members and servants stop to point and stare. Their mocking voices never stop. So that's the lady's husband? He's a total disgrace to our family. Exactly. The lady is such a grand figure. Why did she have to marry a blind man? Quiet. He's just a tool for the ritual. Once the old master recovers, this kid will be kicked out. He might even silently disappear from this world. These voices reach my ears, but I remain unmoved. How could these mortals ever know? The so-called loser they talked about is step by step walking a path beyond the ordinary martial world. Arriving by the pond behind the mountain, everything is silent around me. Only the sound of clear spring water dripping. I put down the bucket, but I didn't rush to fetch water. Instead, I activated my mind's eye immediately, expanding it over the grass and stones nearby. Through my mind's eye, the light of life appeared in different colors. Weeds were a faint gray, while real herbs glowed softly. Soon, I spotted, not far away in a moist crevice, a single, unique plant glowing pale blue. That's earth gall grass, a level 2 herb that cools and detoxifies. It's not considered extremely valuable, but for me right now, it's honestly a huge treasure. I held back my excitement and walked over quickly, carefully pulling out the earth gall grass with its roots, trying not to damage them. In the herbal manual in my mind, I have a special spiritual field for planting. With a thought, the earth gall grass vanished from my hand and appeared in my mind's herb garden. As soon as it entered the garden, it rooted itself right away. Then spring water began to irrigate it automatically. Its leaves instantly stretched out. Planting earth gall grass, gained 5 true chi. 3 years obtained movement skill. Grass step mastery 5%. A rush of chi, much stronger than before, surged violently through my 8 meridians. My bones made a soft cracking sound. The impurities inside me were washed away by this power, quietly leaving my body a sweat. I felt incredibly light all over, like I could fly off any second. So this is the power of grass step. I was quietly amazed in my heart. I still can't really fly, but my speed and agility are way above normal. Even the so-called martial guards at the Liu family can't match me in speed. Plus, my mind's eye range expanded from 10 to 15 meters. I didn't get greedy and started drawing water properly, one bucket after another. Buckets heavy for a regular man now feel light as a feather in my hands, but I still pretended to be out of breath and sweating buckets, carrying each bucket back to the Liu family's backyard. When I pour the final bucket into the tank, the sky is already turning dark. Inside the Liu family's woodshed, I was about to sit down and keep cultivating, when I suddenly heard hurried footsteps outside. But these steps were light and steady, clearly someone skilled in movement. I immediately became alert, spreading my mind's eye out, and locked onto the visitor. It was a woman in a simple white dress, stunning yet cold and distant, like a snow lotus high on a mountain, untouched by the mortal world. She was the one. Miss Liu, Liu Wanjing, the Liu family's eldest daughter. Behind her followed a proud-looking maid named Choju. Liu Wanjing stood at the woodshed door, looking at the plain, even shabby room, her elegant brow slightly furrowing, a complicated emotion flickering in her eyes, part sympathy, part helplessness, but mostly coldness. She pushed open the door and walked in, looking at me sitting on the haystack. Her red lips parted. Her voice was clear as a spring hitting rock, but kept a chill that kept people away. Lin Fan, did you fetch water today? I pretended to be startled and hurriedly stood up, nervously clutching at my clothes. Why yes, miss. Manager Zhao asked me to do it. I listened, I finished everything. Liu Wanjing saw my timid look and sighed inwardly. She was born blessed and had countless suitors. But because of the old master's strange illness, she had to marry a blind beggar like me. Of course she had resentment in her heart, but she's kind and wouldn't bully the innocent. Choju, put the stuff down, Liu Wanjing said quietly. To the maid behind her, Choju pouted, very unwillingly placed a box of delicate pastries and a bottle of pills onto the old table. So hard that dust flew up from the surface. Lin Fan, my lady feels sorry for you. She brought you tonic and snacks. You, a beggar, have never eaten anything this good in your life. Why aren't you kneeling to thank her? Choju's tone was sharp and harsh, full of contempt for me. I quickly bowed in respect, my voice trembling. Many thanks for your kindness, miss. Lin Fan is truly grateful. Liu Wanjing waved her hand, stopping Choju from further insulting me. She looked at me and calmly said, Lin Fan. This marriage wasn't our choice. But now that you're part of the Lu family, as long as you behave yourself and don't cause trouble, my Lu family will ensure you live well. But you need to remember your place. Don't have unrealistic expectations. I sneered in my mind. Unrealistic expectations? My goal is the peak of martial arts. To live forever. Why would I care about the Lu family's heiress? But I kept acting timid on the surface. And agreed repeatedly. I understand. Miss, I'm just a blind man. As long as I have food, I'm satisfied. I'd never dare want anything else. Lu Wanjing saw my respectful attitude. So she said nothing more. And turned to leave. But when she reached the door, she suddenly stopped. And, without turning around, said, in a few days, young Lord Meng Tianhao of the Salt Gang will come to the Lu family to discuss salt route business in Jiangnan. Things will get chaotic. Stay in your shed. Don't walk around. Or you might offend someone and lose your life. I was surprised. Meng Tianhao, young lord of the Salt Gang. He's a top leader among the youth of Jiangnan. Rumor is he's moody and ruthless. He's also always been after Lu Wanjing. This Lu family marriage is mostly because the Salt Gang is crushing their business. I got it. Miss, I won't go out. I answered obediently. Lu Wanjing said nothing more and left quickly with Choju. The shed door closed again. I walked to the table and picked up the so-called tonic. I carefully checked with my mind's eye. A playful smile appeared at the corner of my mouth. This is just the most ordinary kind. A hint of a playful smile. This is just the most basic stuff. Qi and blood pills help regular martial artists some. But for me, with the Shenong herbal record, they're just trash. Still, among the ingredients of this qi and blood pill, there are a few herbs I haven't worked with yet. If I can get my hands on the seeds of those herbs, it'll really help upgrade my herb records. I put away the qi and blood pill. Then I went to the corner to get back to my planting. 3 days passed in a flash. Over those 3 days, except for eating and sleeping, I was sneaking around the back hills looking for herbs. With the help of the herb garden, I've now planted 5 different kinds of herbs. My martial arts level has been skyrocketing like a rocket. Right now, my energy is full, and my inner power is starting to flow through my veins. I've reached the peak of mortal martial stage level 9. I'm just one step away from that legendary innate stage. Iron Shirt Body and Flying on Grass have both reached mastery. I'm still blind for now, but in this small Jiangning city, I'm already a hidden expert. Still, I chose to keep hiding myself. Using the secret function of the herb record, I masked my presence and perfectly disguised myself as just a regular, powerless blind guy. That day, the Lu family mansion was decked out with lanterns and streamers. But the mood was festive in appearance, but actually very tense. My mind's eye clearly sensed a flood of strong martial artists walking through the Lu family's gates. The strongest energy among them was like a blazing fire, arrogantly storming into the Lu family's main hall. That must be Meng Tianhao, the Salt Gang's young master. At first, I planned to follow Lu Wanqing's advice and just stay put in the woodshed. After all, the fight between the Salt Gang and the Lu family has nothing to do with me. I just want to quietly be a mastermind behind the scenes. But trouble just has a way of finding me. Bang! The woodshed door was suddenly blown to pieces. Wood chips went flying everywhere. With a loud, wild laugh, a young man in fancy robes and holding a folding fan strode inside. A few Salt Gang masters with steady energy followed behind him, along with Zhao the steward, his face bruised and swollen. Young Master Meng, this is the blind beggar here. The beggar lives here. Zhao covered his face, pointing at me with a fawning but fearful look, and said. I leaned on the hay pile, my heart sinking a little, but quickly put on a terrified, panicked expression. I fumbled backwards trying to move away. Who are you? Don't hurt me. Meng Tianhao covered his mouth with his fan in disgust. Looking down at me from above, there was mockery and cruelty in his eyes. Mockery and cruelty. So this is Lu Wanqing's blind husband. Ah. How interesting. The Lu family is supposed to be the richest in Jiangnan, and yet they got all these losers to help Lu Wanqing? Lu Wanqing would rather have a beggar than marry me. Meng Tianhao, are you humiliating me on purpose? The more Meng Tianhao spoke, the darker his face got. He originally came here to pressure the Lu family to give up control of their salt business, and also to try and win over Lu Wanqing. But now he hears she's already married. Even if it was just a marriage in name, he still felt his pride had taken a huge hit. He felt extremely insulted. So today, he wants to humiliate this blind guy who stole the woman he likes and completely destroy him. If you want to blame someone, blame your bad luck. For aiming too high for a woman beyond your reach. Meng Tianhao snorted coldly. And pointed at a salt gang fighter next to him. Go break his arms and legs. Then toss him out on the street for the dogs. I want Lu Wanqing to see what kind of fate her man ends up with. Yes, young master. That fighter grinned wickedly. And stepped toward me. He gave off the aura of the 6th stage of mortal martial arts. Which no regular person could fight against. Honestly, he's unbeatable for normal folks. I curled up in the corner. Pretending to shake with fear. But inside I was ice cold. Even a clay Buddha gets angry sometimes. Let alone me, feeling so cold inside. Even a clay Buddha has a temper. Let alone me, a transmigrator with cheat powers. If you guys want to die, I won't hold back. I took a deep breath. Ready to start killing if needed. My body tightened up slightly. Iron shirt at mastery, ready to be used any second. As soon as this guy gets close, within 5 steps, I'll snap his neck instantly. And make sure there's no evidence left. But just in that split second, a sharp woman's voice shouted out, echoing like thunder in the yard. Stop, Meng Tianhao. You're going too far. Along with the voice, Lu Wanqing rushed over, bringing members of the Lu family with her. She saw the wrecked woodshed, and me huddled in the corner, her stunning face full of anger. Meng Tianhao, this is the Lu family. Not a place for you salt gang people. These are my Lu family's people. You have no right to boss around here. Meng Tianhao saw Lu Wanqing walk in, and not only didn't get mad, but actually laughed out loud. He closed his folding fan, and stared greedily at Lu Wanqing, his eyes sweeping over her. So, little sis, you're finally willing to see me. All for this blind beggar. You'd really fight me over him? That's truly heartbreaking. But don't worry. Just say you'll marry me, and hand over the salt business. And I'll spare this loser's life today. Yeah, this loser can live, for now. Lu Wanqing clenched her teeth, her body trembling a little. She knew. The Lu family was on the brink. The old master was sick. And the salt gang was targeting them at every turn. If they went to total war against Meng Tianhao today, the Lu family might not survive 3 days. But, getting with a shameless jerk like Meng Tianhao, she would rather die. Forget it, Meng Tianhao. My family will fight to the bitter end before we give in. We'll never bow to you. Fine, since you want it the hard way. Have it the hard way. Meng Tianhao's face instantly twisted with rage. He swept an icy glance around at the Lu family fighters. Sneering, he said. With just you sickly weaklings? You think you can stop the salt gang army? Today, I'm not just ending this blind guy. I'm taking you with me too. Get them. With Meng Tianhao's command, his salt gang fighters burst out with incredible power, rampaging in the small yard. The Lu family fighters immediately drew their swords to fight back. And a huge battle broke out. Swords clashed everywhere. Screams filled the air. I watched it all coldly. And with my mind's eye, saw everything in the fight clearly. Lu family had more numbers. But overall, they were weaker. Meanwhile, every salt gang member, and everyone from the salt gang who came here, are all elite fighters. Especially beside Meng Tianhao, that old man who's been meditating with his eyes closed. He radiates a terrifying innate aura. That's the salt gang's real trump card. Under this heavy pressure, the Lu family's experts keep falling back. Soon, they were knocked to the ground. Lu Wanqing was lightly injured too. A bit of blood trickled from the corner of her mouth. She collapsed to the ground, pale-faced. Even her usually arrogant maid, Qiuju, was already hiding in the corner, shaking in fear. She didn't even dare to lift her head. Ha 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 ha. Lu Wanqing, what else do you have to say now? Meng Tianhao laughed wildly as he walked towards Lu Wanqing. His eyes glinted with lust. Nobody's saving you today. And that blind guy? Go die. Meng Tianhao casually swung his palm, releasing a blast of force. A sharp, whistling sound sliced through the air. It headed straight for me, huddled in the corner. This strike was incredibly powerful. He clearly meant to kill me. Lu Wanqing saw all this happen, and closed her eyes. She shouted out in despair. No. He may not like me, but I got dragged into this mess because of him. He couldn't bear seeing an innocent blind guy die right in front of him. But the bloody outcome she expected didn't happen. That force, strong enough to shatter mountains, stopped just a foot from my body, like it hit an unseen, unbreakable iron wall. It instantly fell apart, and vanished into thin air. The woodshed went deadly silent. Everyone was stunned. Even that old expert who had been meditating suddenly opened his eyes wide. Twin beams of golden light locked right on me. Impossible. Meng Tianhao looked at himself, disbelief on his face. And then at me, untouched. That last attack. Even though he only used half his strength, Should have been more than any regular person could handle. Could someone powerful be secretly helping him? That old expert took a step forward, blocking Meng Tianhao behind him. He stared at me, looking extremely tense. I don't know which fellow expert is here. Why not show yourself? Hiding behind a blind guy isn't impressive. The old man boomed out, his voice like thunder, making the tiles on the woodshed rattle. But all was quiet around us. No powerful expert replied. Only me, slowly standing up, brushing the straw off my clothes. I moved calmly, even with a touch of elegance. I slowly lifted my blindfold, revealing tightly shut eyes, even though my eyes stayed closed. In that moment, the timid, weak aura I used to carry vanished without a trace. Instead, a deep and frightening pressure emerged, bottomless, like an ocean or abyss. It was bottomless, like an ocean or abyss, terrifying. Peak of martial realm level 9. But the energy was still rising, almost reaching the innate level. Impossible. Aren't you just a blind beggar? Lu Wanqing's eyes opened wide. She cried out in shock. She simply couldn't believe. The blind son-in-law looked down on by the family, scorned by everyone, was actually such a hidden master. I ignored Lu Wanqing's shock. My focus locked onto that old expert. I spoke calmly. I said, I just want to quietly grow my herbs and live in peace. So why do you all keep bothering me? Meng Tianhao looked a bit pale, but with the expert backing him up, he tried to act tough, yelling, stop messing around. Song, get him. That old expert called Song, snorted coldly, and moved instantly, charging at me like a giant fly. His violent innate energy turned into a huge blue eagle claw, ripping through the air, straight for my throat. He wasn't holding back at all. Like a lion going full strength against a rabbit. He gave it everything. He sensed the danger and strangeness from me. But in my mind's eye world, he was just way too slow, moving like a snail climbing big plants. Like a snail crawling up giant herbs. I moved instantly, leaving a shadow where I stood, easily dodging Song's surekill strike. Wow, that's fast. Song's pupils shrank. He was terrified. He didn't even have time to react before a wave of unstoppable force hit him from the side. That was the advanced iron shirt technique, combined with my peak martial realm strength. My fist, wrapped in energy, was like a hard cloud, slammed right into Song's protective aura. Crunch. A sharp crack. Song's innate protective energy couldn't stand up to my iron fist, as fragile as a sheet of paper. It shattered instantly. Song spat out a mouthful of blood, and flew back like a broken kite. He hit the courtyard wall hard outside the woodshed, knocking down most of the wall. He tried to get up, but found his ribs were broken, his organs badly injured. He couldn't fight anymore. Absolute silence, like death. You could hear a pin drop in the Lu family's backyard. Everyone stared at me like I was a monster. A blind guy from the martial realm just landed a devastating blow on an innate master. If you hadn't seen it yourself, no one would believe it. If you told them. Meng Tianhao's legs began shaking, and his pants were getting a bit wet. He watched me walk towards him step by step, like seeing a killer straight out of hell. Stay away. I'm the Salt Gang's young master. If you kill me, my father will never let you go. I walked up to Meng Tianhao, using my mind's eye, and looked down at this clown collapsed on the ground. I just found him funny. The Salt Gang, to me, is just a weed by the roadside. I can pull it up whenever I want. I slowly raised my right hand, shaping my fingers like a blade, sharpening the aura. Just as I was about to finally settle this trouble, Lu Wanqing suddenly struggled over and grabbed my arm. Lin Fan, don't kill him. Lu Wanqing's voice had a hint of pleading. I frowned a little, turning my head away. Are you asking me to spare him? Lu Wanqing bit her lip and explained urgently. If he dies in the Lu house, Salt Gang's chief Meng Songhai will go crazy. Then the whole Lu family would be buried with him. Plus, my grandpa is still waiting for the Tianshan snow lotus he needed to live. Only Meng Tianhao knows. Where is the Tianshan snow lotus hidden? After hearing Lu Wanqing's words, an idea popped into my mind. Tianshan snow lotus. That's an extremely rare level 5 spiritual herb. If I could get its seeds, or the plant itself, and grow it in the secret herb garden, I'd break through my bottleneck instantly. I'd reach the Xiantian realm right away. When that happens, here in Jiangnan, I won't fear anything anymore. Thinking of this, I withdrew my inner energy and stared coldly at Meng Tianhao. You have 10 breaths. Get out of the Lu family. If I see you again, or hear you plotting against the Lu family, no one will be able to save you next time. Meng Tianhao was relieved like he got a pardon. He scrambled out with his men helping him up, and fled from the Lu house. He didn't even care about the badly wounded old Song. watching the Salt gang flee in panic. The Lu family's crisis was over for now. But I knew. It's just the calm before the storm. Once Meng Tianhao goes back, he'll bring even stronger experts to get back at me. I have to break through to Xiantian before that. I turned around and got ready to head back to my shack and keep practicing. As for the collapsed courtyard wall, the Lu servants will take care of it. Lin Fan, wait up. Lu Wanqing called out from behind. Her eyes were full of mixed feelings. Looking at this blind husband she'd always disliked. Now he seemed so mysterious and strong. Who are you really? Why did you approach the Lu family? I stopped. Why did you approach the Lu family? I stopped walking. Without looking back, I just left one short line. I'm just a blind guy who wants to quietly grow herbs. That's all. With that, I walked into my shack with no door left, sat down cross-legged, and kept cultivating. Lu Wanqing stood among the ruins, watching my back, unable to say a word for a long time. She knew this blind man that everyone underestimated might really be the Lu family's true savior. He's a mystery she may never figure out. Late at night, the moonlight fell over the ruins, making it all look a bit bleak. I took out the pouch of qi and blood pills, picked one out, and carefully crushed it, extracting the essence inside, and infused it into the mysterious herb almanac. A clear notification rang in my mind. Successfully extracted qi and blood herb essence for almanac. New area unlocked. Received 5 qi and blood herb seeds. I smiled a little, and planted the seeds right away. With these new herbs, my cultivation speed will double again. Lu family, Salt gang. In this Jiangnan on the edge of a storm. Just watch this blind beggar step by step climb to the peak of martial arts. Next morning, sunlight came in through the broken roof, shining on my face, bringing a bit of warmth. Like usual, I meditated in the yard. Even though I couldn't see, my heart senses range has already reached 20 meters. I can sense every tiny movement around me. Nothing escapes my perception. Just then, I heard a flurry of light, quick footsteps running toward me. They sounded happy, totally different from yesterday's heavy mood. Brother-in-law, are you there? A crisp, pleasant, bell-like voice called out. I probed with my heart sense, and saw it was a girl in a light yellow dress, about 17 or 18 years old, with a sweet, pretty face, and features a bit like Lu Wanqing. But she's a bit more lively and energetic than Lu Wanqing. This is Lu Wanqing's younger sister, the Lu family's second miss, Lu Zian. Usually she's training at Qingyun Pass outside the city, rarely coming home. Didn't expect her to come back today. I slowly finished my breathing exercise, stood up and acted like a blind man, and groped my way to the door. Second miss, is that you? Lin Fan greets second miss. Lu Zian rushed into the yard like the wind, and when she saw my shabby little shack, she instantly stomped her foot in anger. These people are just awful. How could they let brother-in-law live in this dump? My sister too. Even if it was just for luck. She can't treat you like this. Lu Zian muttered under her breath, her face full of indignation. She came up to me, and stared at me with her big curious eyes. She looked at me with those big curious eyes. Yesterday, I beat Master Song, a top-tier martial artist, with one strike. The entire Lu family has been ordered by the family head to keep quiet. No one is allowed to talk about it. So Lu Zian doesn't know. I'm actually a hidden master. She only knows her own sister married a poor, blind beggar. And he's treated terribly. Don't worry, brother-in-law. I'll have your back from now on. If anyone bullies you, just tell me. I'll use Qingyun Gate sword skills on them. Lu Zian waved her little fist, looking like a brave, righteous little fighter. Looking at this innocent, pure-hearted girl, I couldn't help but feel a bit touched. In this cold and selfish Lu family, she's probably the only one who really treats me kindly. Thank you, Miss Zian, for your kindness. Lin Fan is used to it. It's actually pretty nice here. Quiet and good for recovering. I gave a slight smile. My tone was calm. Nice? Really? There's not even a decent bed here. Lu Zian sighed. Then she mysteriously leaned close to my ear, lowered her voice and said, I came today to bring you something good. I smuggled a Lingxin herb seed out of Qingyun Gate. I heard this thing is amazing. Grow it nearby and it helps clear your mind. It's really good for healing. I know you're not healthy, and your eyes aren't well. Maybe this Lingxin herb will help. As she spoke, Lu Zian carefully took out a fancy jade box from her chest and handed it to me. A Lingxin herb seed. I felt a sudden thrill inside. I instantly saw through the jade box and locked onto the glowing green seed inside. That's no ordinary herb. From my herbal knowledge, Lingxin herb is a level 3 spiritual herb. It calms the mind and is a main ingredient for making the breakthrough pill, used to surpass the top realm. This is a priceless treasure. Man, this silly girl just gave it to me without thinking. I took a deep breath, pushing down my excitement. I put away the jade box. Feeling a bit moved, I said, Miss Xian, how could you give me something this valuable? You should keep it for your own cultivation. Oh come on, no need to be so polite with me. Lu Xian just waved her hand, not caring. Besides, I've already reached the 5th return, 7th level. This won't do much for me. Just take it. But don't let my sister and dad know, or they'll yell at me again for messing around. Looking at Lu Xian's sincere smile, I quietly made up my mind. This little sister-in-law, I'll always protect her. As long as I'm here, no one in Jiangnan can hurt her at all. Don't worry, Miss Xian. Lin Fan won't say a word. Great. No worries, Miss Xian. Lin Fan will keep my lips sealed. I promised seriously. Lu Xian laughed happily, pulling me into stories about Qingyun Gate's fun times. I just listened quietly, adding a word now and then. All morning, the quiet little yard was filled with laughter. Near noon, Choju, Lu Wanqing's maid, rushed over in a hurry, and called Lu Xian away. She said the family head had important matters to discuss. After Lu Xian left, I went straight back to the woodshed, locked the door, barely able to contain myself, and took out the Lingxin seed. This seed brimmed with life, much stronger than any seed I'd ever gotten before. Far, far stronger. With a thought, I went straight into the mysterious herb field in my mind. Now, thanks to my cultivation growth, it had expanded to 2 acres wide. The hemostatic grass and ground gall in the field were thriving, filling the air with herbal fragrance. I carefully planted the Lingxin seed right in the center of the field, in the most fertile soil. Then I focused my mind, guiding streams of field spring water for irrigation. Green energy poured into the earth like a tide. The Lingxin seed pulsed gently, like a heartbeat. Right away, a bright green sprout burst through the soil, instantly growing into a plant with 3 leaves, and a pale blue flower blooming on top. An intense, unique herbal scent spread across the whole field at once. Some of the aroma even leaked out, merging with my real body. Congrats to the host for planting a level 3 spirit herb, the Lingxin herb. You gained 5 streams of true energy and unlocked ancient alchemy skills. Beginner, your sense range expanded to 50 meters. A boom exploded in my mind. 10 years worth of true energy surged like a roaring dragon, rushing wildly through my veins. I felt my inner strength swell several times over instantly. The solid 9th level barrier of my 5th return realm was smashed apart by this wave of power, as easily as breaking twigs. Black, sticky stuff began to ooze from my skin. That's the deepest impurities in my body being purified out. My bones turned pure as jade, and my muscles now held explosive strength. I finally broke through to the innate realm. With endless innate energy in my body, I couldn't help but feel on top of the world. Not only that, my sense range jumped to 50 meters just like that. 50 meters all around. Any tiny movement, even an ant underground, even an ant under the ground. I could feel it all clearly. Nothing escaped my senses. Plus, I gained ancient alchemy arts. A flood of knowledge about herbs and recipes, and ways to refine pills filled my head. This skill could seriously change my entire destiny. I calmed myself down, withdrew my mind from the herb field, quickly drew some well water, and washed all the dirt off my body. Changed into some clean, though still ragged, clothes. Right now, I still looked like a blind beggar. But my vibe was completely different. Like a legendary sword hiding all its edge, just waiting for its day to shine. Shortly after breaking through to the innate realm, my senses suddenly picked up. In the corridor near my woodshed, about 40 meters away, there were 2 sneaky figures, muttering in low voices. Because my range had expanded to 50 meters, their secret talk was crystal clear to me, like they were shouting in my ear. One was Lu family's eldest son, Lu Tianxiong, the cousin of Lu Wanqing and Lu Xian. This guy has always been narrow-minded. He's been eyeing the position of the Lu family head. As for the other person, his voice sounds unfamiliar, but I can sense the aura of a Yin gang fighter from him. Li Ji, what did Meng Xiao say? Lu Tianxiong's voice was low. He couldn't hide his excitement and urgency. The Yin gang member called stewardly let out a cold laugh. He whispered, "Don't worry, young Master Lu. Our young lord said, as long as you can, at tomorrow night's Lu family banquet, slip this heart test powder into the old man's ginseng soup without anyone noticing. Once he dies, our Yin gang army will storm the Lu family at once. We'll help you become the Lu family head. As for Lu Wanqing and Lu Xian, those 2 girls, They're going to be our young lord's toys. Lu Tianxiong took a deep breath. He asked worriedly, what about Lin Fan, that blind guy? I heard he punched Old Song yesterday. That kid's got some weird power. A blind guy? Forget it. Li Ji spat in contempt. Old Song just underestimated him yesterday. He only got sneak attacked. Besides, that blind guy probably used some secret skill to boost his strength. He might already be a cripple now. Tomorrow night, the boss will personally come. With our Yen Gang's 3 top experts. Even if the blind guy really is an expert, he'd be doomed facing the boss. Hearing this, Lu Tianxiong finally relaxed. He gritted his teeth and sneered, good. It's a deal. Tomorrow night, I'll make Lu Wanqing agree to it too. Tomorrow night, I'm gonna make Lu Wanqing, that bitch, kneel down and beg me. The 2 men chuckled in the dark, thinking they'd won. Then they each left in different directions. I stood in the middle of the old woodshed. Under my eye patch, my lips curled into a cold, murderous smile. For the family head position, Lu Tianxiong actually colluded with outsiders to poison his own family. He's even willing to sell out his own cousins. Truly worse than an animal. At first, I didn't want to get involved in the Lu family's drama. But since you targeted Lu Zian and Lu Wanqing, tomorrow's banquet will be the day the Yen Gang falls. As for that heart test powder, I really want to see, with my ancient alchemy, who you can actually poison. I sat back down on the bed. I began planning for tomorrow quietly. Right now, I've broken through to the first stage of Xiantian. But going up against the gang boss and the 3 top experts, I still can't let my guard down. After all, it's just me alone. They've got numbers on their side. Just in case, I have to use the herbs in the pharmacy before sunset tomorrow to make a few battle boost pills. Especially a detox pill that recovers energy and heals wounds instantly, and a burst yuan pill that boosts power quickly. With that in mind, I got to work right away. Inside my mind pharmacy, I started picking herbs. Picking herbs for medicine, busy at work. Getting ready for my first pill refining attempt. Time passed without me noticing. I stayed hidden in the woodshed all day, using ancient alchemy rituals, carefully refining the herbs. Even without a proper pill furnace, I used Xiantian energy as flame, refining the medicine right in the air. This nearly miraculous pill-making method, there's probably no one else on earth who can pull it off like me. After burning up tons of blood-stopping grass and ground bile grass, I finally managed to make 3 sparkling, burst yuan pills glowing with a faint red light, and 5 green light detox pills. With these pills as my trump card, my chances of winning tomorrow have gone up at least 30%. Night was falling. That silly Luzian girl secretly brought me more food. Seeing how happy and innocent she looked, I made a vow in my heart. Tomorrow, I'll crush every evil plot with my own hands and protect this adorable girl. In a blink, it was already the next evening. The Lu family hall was full of lights. Guests gathered everywhere to celebrate the old master's recovery and show the Lu family's strength. The Lu family this time pretty much invited everyone important in Jiangning City. Nothing happened. People with faces. But underneath all this excitement, there's a deadly threat lurking. I'm still wearing my shabby old clothes, with a rough blindfold on. Holding a bamboo stick in my hand, I slowly shuffle my feet and walk into a remote corner of the hall. The servants of the Lu family spot me, and they look annoyed. But after what happened yesterday, none of them dare mock me out loud anymore. I stand quietly in the corner, letting my senses spread like an invisible net, covering the entire banquet hall. At the main seat in the center of the hall sits an old man with pale and lifeless eyes. That's old Master Lu Zhentian. Even though he took rare herbs to prolong his life, his vitality is fading like a candle in the wind, ready to go out at any moment. Beside the old master sits family head Lu Lianshan, with Lu Wanqing and Lu Zian, the 2 sisters. Lu Tianxiong stands behind the old master, looking like the perfect grandson, holding a bowl of freshly cooked ginseng soup, about to serve it to the old master. Looking at that bowl of ginseng soup, my senses immediately lock onto it. On the surface of the soup, there's a faint layer of deadly black aura. That's heart scatter poison. Once the old master drinks it, in less than 3 breaths, his heart will break and he'll die. And Lu Tianxiong can blame the servants who made the medicine, so he can clear himself of any suspicion. Lu Tianxiong watches as the old master slowly lifts the soup. A twisted, wild look flashes in his eyes. Grandpa, I specially asked the kitchen to make you this longevity ginseng soup. Please drink it while it's hot. The old master gives a weak smile, looking at Lu Tianxiong with some relief. Tianxiong, thanks for caring. Hey. The old master lifts the bowl, about to bring it to his mouth. Right at this critical moment, I suddenly take a step forward, slamming the bamboo stick hard on the floor, making a sharp, clear sound. Old master, you can't drink that soup. My voice isn't loud, but in the silent hall, it hits like thunder. All eyes are instantly drawn to me. The hall erupts in chaos. All the guests look at the blind man standing in the corner in shock. No one knows why this useless son-in-law of the Lu family is acting crazy again. Lu Tianxiong's face suddenly turns pale. His body shakes violently, almost spilling the soup. He angrily points at me and shouts, "Lin Fan, you blind useless idiot. What do you know? This is a tonic I prepared for Grandpa. How dare you? This is a tonic I made for Grandpa. How dare you talk nonsense here? Ruining everyone's mood? Someone, break this lunatic's legs and throw him out." A few Lu family guards hear the order and walk toward me, ready for action. Lu Wanqing stands up too, frowning at me, and says angrily, "Lin Fan, what are you doing? Step back. Grandpa's health can't wait." Only Lu Zian looks at him, confused. She blindly trusts Lin Fan. She feels this mysterious brother-in-law wouldn't say it without reason. "Did you find something, brother-in-law?" Lu Zian asks loudly. I ignore the doubtful and scornful looks around me, just keeping my focus on Lu Tianxiong. I reply coldly, "Did I make this up? Lu Tianxiong knows best. If you don't believe me, just bring a live chicken over. Let it drink the soup and see what happens." Lu Tianxiong's face sinks when he hears this. His heart drops to rock bottom. He never expected this seemingly perfect plan would get exposed by someone he always looked down on, the blind man, on the spot. But he's got a deep mind and tries to stay calm, snorting, "Ridiculous. I'm Lu Tianxiong, the eldest son of the Lu family. Why would I harm my own grandfather? You, a blind guy, stop spreading lies here. Father, get him out of here. Father, please have someone take him away. Don't let him delay Grandpa's treatment." Lu Lianshan looks at the nervous Lu Tianxiong, then at me, calm and confident. As the family head, he's very sharp. He senses something's off right away. "Tianxiong, since Lin Fan said so, juste pour a little soup out, and give it to the guard dog nearby. Let it drink," Lu Lianshan says. "No need, father. This ginseng soup is precious. We shouldn't waste it on an animal." Sweat beads cover Lu Tianxiong's forehead. Even his words start to stumble. Seeing how guilty he looks, the guests in the hall start whispering among themselves, their faces full of doubt. "Lu Tianxiong, are you scared?" I sneer and stride forward. With every step, my aura grows stronger, making the guards who were going to grab me feel nervous and all back away. Nonsense. What would I be afraid of? Lu Tianxiong finally breaks down, knowing the secret's out. His fear turns into madness. He suddenly throws his bowl to the floor. The soup sizzles on the ground and instantly eats through the stone floor, making a deep hole as foul black smoke starts rising. Everyone sees this. The hall bursts into screams of terror. There really is poison in the soup. "Lu Tianxiong, you animal. You actually tried to poison your own grandfather." Lu Lianshan trembles with rage, slams the table hard, stands up, pointing at Lu Tianxiong, cursing him. The old master's eyes widen, almost can't believe what he's seeing. Looking at his favorite grandson, he spits out a mouthful of blood in anger and faints right away. "Grandpa!" Lu Wanqing and Lu Zian panic, hurrying to help the old master. Lu Lianshan, stop pretending. You're so noble in front of me." Lu Tianxiong knows it's over, so he just laughs wildly at the sky, with hatred and madness in his eyes. This old guy should have died long ago. He keeps the family leader position to himself and wants to give it to Lu Wanqing, that bitch. I'm the real heir of the Lu family. Why should I let you all walk all over me? Today, all of you are going to die. With Lu Tianxiong's crazed roar, outside the hall suddenly comes the screeching sound of weapons. Countless men in black night gear, Salt Gang assassins with steel blades burst through the window. They completely surround the hall, accompanied by loud, triumphant laughter. The hall is totally sealed off. There's wild, arrogant laughter. Two middle-aged men in fancy robes step inside. One of them is the Salt Gang young master Meng Tianhao that I let go yesterday. Standing next to him is a tall, imposing elder with a commanding presence. He radiates a heavy aura, like a mountain. It feels terrifying. That's the Salt Gang boss, a famous expert in Jiangning City with second-tier innate skills. Meng Songhai, behind them. There are also two elders with first-tier innate abilities. All four top-tier experts gather here. This power is enough to wipe out any family in Jiangning City, completely destroy them. Lu Lianshan. Today is the day your Lu family falls. Meng Tianhao points his folding fan at everyone in the hall. Looking totally arrogant. Finally, he locks his gaze on me. His teeth grind loudly. Blind man, today I'm not just going to break your neck, but also right in front of you. I'll love your wife and your sister-in-law, nice and thorough. Hearing Meng Tianhao's insulting words, Lu Wanqing turns pale and closes her eyes in despair. The Lu family is way too weak compared to the Salt Gang. There's no chance of winning. But I still stand quietly in place. I don't even flinch. I slowly raise my head. Even through the blindfold. Meng Songhai. Even through the blindfold. Meng Songhai can still feel a deadly chill locking onto him. He feels completely targeted. You're the blind man who crippled Elder Song. Meng Songhai looks at me seriously. His instincts tell him. This blind beggar who seems powerless is definitely not ordinary. I don't answer him. Instead, I slowly take from my chest a newly refined explosive yuan pill. Swallow it down. The pill melts instantly. Turns into a wild, burning energy that rushes through my body. My first tier innate strength, under this surge of medicine, starts skyrocketing. Second tier innate. Peak of second tier innate. Almost reaching third tier innate. Then slowing down. In that moment, the air in the hall seems drained by the intense pressure from me. It feels sucked dry. Everyone can barely breathe. How is this possible? This aura is stronger than the boss's. The two Salt Gang innate elders' faces change drastically. Their eyes full of terror. Meng Songhai's expression finally shifts. He never expected. In the small Lu family, there was someone hidden, whose power rivals his own top-tier skills. Who are you, friend? This is a grudge between Salt Gang and the Lu family. If you leave now, Salt Gang will offer 10,000 gold pieces and 100 beauties. Meng Songhai is starting to back down. His tone almost pleading. I sneer. Sweep my bamboo cane lightly across the floor. In an instant, a sharp, invisible innate sword energy cuts a deep trench in the floor, shooting straight at Meng Songhai. If you want to take my wife and sister-in-law, you'd better ask my bamboo cane first. No one from the Salt Gang is leaving alive today. As I finish speaking, I vanish from my spot instantly, leaving only a piercing sword sound in the air. The battle is about to start. Master-level cloud step movement technique is pushed to the limit right now. My speed is so fast, even after images can't be seen. In my mind's eye, every shift and movement in the hall become clear tracks. Those Salt Gang killers who usually act so tough look like helpless sheep to me. A wet splat. The dull sound of blade hitting flesh. Before anyone can see what I did, the Salt Gang first-tier elder at the front suddenly has a bloody hole in his throat. Fresh blood sprays out like a fountain. His eyes go wide. He can't even cry out. And just goes stiff. He collapsed straight to the ground. One hit, instant kill. The whole hall fell into dead silence. The arrogant Salt Gang members now felt a bone-chilling coldness shooting from their feet to their skulls. That was a high and mighty Xiantian master. But he was killed by that blind man in just one move. Is this really the power a useless beggar could have? Elder Meng Tianhao let out a terrified scream. He kept backing away. Almost fell down. Meng Songhai watched this scene. His eyes instantly turned blood red. All the anger and fear inside him peaked at this moment. He roared in fury. His entire body's Xiantian energy ignited wildly. It burst into a raging form made of pure energy. The black tiger howled with a piercing gale and charged straight at me. Blind man. I'll kill you. Tiger shatters the sky palm, facing Meng Songhai's full-powered, hate-fueled attack. I stayed calm. Didn't even lift an eyelid. Grandmaster Iron Shirt in full force. On my skin, a faint, bronze metallic glow appeared. That's the ultimate form of Iron Shirt. Internal energy bursting out. I didn't even bother to step back. Just chopped with my fingers like a blade. I didn't even bother to step back. Just chopped with my fingers like a blade. And struck right at that raging black tiger. Xiantian sword energy gathered at my fingertip. It turned into a glowing sword several feet long. Sword tip crashed into the black tiger midair. Boom! A thunderous explosion echoed, blasting through the narrow hall. The shockwave turned into a raging wind, smashing tables and chairs into pieces. Roof tiles rained down everywhere. Salt Gang's weaker guys and the Lu family's servants were sent flying by the blast, slamming hard into the walls and passing out cold. At the center of this storm, I stood still like a rock. But Meng Songhai's face was ashen. He staggered back over 10 steps. Every step he took left a deep footprint in the hard stone floor. He tasted blood at his throat. Couldn't suppress his injuries anymore. Blood sprayed from his mouth. You reached the threshold of 3rd level Xiantian? Meng Song still stared at me in disbelief. Only despair filled his eyes. He could sense. My energy just now was way stronger than his. Not just quantity, but also pure beyond belief. That's not something normal cultivation can pull off. It's a supreme, profound art. I didn't answer him. Go on. I didn't answer him about the divine art. The explosive pill made by ancient alchemy was still coursing through my body. My power was at its peak. I pressed off with my foot and became a ghostly blur again, slashing straight for Meng Songhai. Not good. Young master. Run. Another Salt Gang elder saw this and charged at me, trying to block my way, to buy time for Meng Songhai and his son. But to my mind's eye, all his defense flaws stood wide open. I shifted slightly, taking an impossible angle, and slipped past him. My right hand became a blade, and right as we passed each other, I unleashed my energy and chopped his head clean off. Another Xiantian master fell. Run, run. At this point, Meng Songhai had no hint of his former authority. All his pride and ambition were shattered by me in that instant. He grabbed the terrified Meng Tianhao and desperately ran for the door. Think you can escape? I sneered. The bamboo stick spun in my hand. Just like a sword thrown by a top master, wrapped in Xiantian energy, it turned into a blazing streak of light, making a sharp whistling sound, and caught up to the escapees instantly, reaching the father and son in a heartbeat. Thud. The bamboo pierced right through Meng Tianhao's back. Its force carried his whole body, flying forward several meters, and nailed him onto the stone tablet in the yard. Meng Tianhao's eyes were wide open, blood bubbling from his mouth. He barely struggled before going silent forever. Tianhao. Meng Songhai saw his son die horribly, and let out a gut-wrenching scream. But before he could mourn, the bamboo that pierced Meng Tianhao, still packed with sword energy, suddenly exploded. The violent energy shot straight through the air into Meng Songhai's back, blasting him forward to the ground. He vomited again and again, spitting blood and shattered organs. I walked up to Meng Songhai step by step, looking down on him from above. This villain who once ruled without fear. Meng, did you ever imagine today would come? Meng Songhai lay on the ground, barely breathing. He looked at the blindfolded young man before him, his eyes now full of terror and pride. Please, let me live. You can have everything the Salt Gang owns. I gave him a cold look, completely unmoved. If you threaten anyone beside me, I'll never leave any loose ends. I slowly raised my foot, and in Meng Songhai's desperate eyes, stomped hard on his dantian. My ruthless Xiantian energy shot into his body, destroying all his meridians and energy core, shredding them completely. Meng Songhai screamed. His head rolled to the side, then went silent for good. And so, the Salt Gang lord who ruled River City for decades, and his 2 Xiantian elders, were all finished in the Lu family's great hall. And the one who ended it all was just a blind beggar, laughed at by everyone. The hall was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. All the Lu family guests stared at me in shock. No one dared to breathe. Afraid of angering the killer I was. Lu Tianxiong slumped to the ground. His pants were already soaked. All color drained from his face. He watched me walk towards him step by step, his teeth chattering nonstop. Lin Linfan. I was wrong, I really was. It was the Salt Gang that made me do it. Please spare my life. I'm still Xian's and Wanqing's cousin. Lu Lianshan sighed. He hated Lu Tianxiong's betrayal, but they were still family. He looked at me, pleading, but in the end stayed silent. He knew. Now I totally ruled the Lu family. My will could not be defied. Rule. My will could not be defied. I walked up to Lu Tianxiong. But I didn't kill him. Instead, I turned to Lu Lianshan and said, Father-in-law, this man colluded with outsiders, poisoned grandfather. His crimes deserve death. But after all, this is a Lu family matter. I'll leave it to you to deal with him according to our family rules. When Lu Lianshan heard this, he instantly sighed in relief. He looked at me with gratitude. Don't worry, Lin Shenji. I'll give him the harshest punishment. Hearing he wouldn't be killed, Lu Tianxiong knew he'd lose his powers and be locked away for life. But that was much better than dying right away. He collapsed to the ground, kept bowing and thanking me. Right then, old master, with Lu Wanqing and Lu Xian helping him, slowly walked over. He was still very weak. But what just happened? He saw most of it. The old master looked at me, a little moved. Leaning on his 2 granddaughters, he tried to stand and salute me. I'm Lu Zhentian of the Lu family. Thank you, immortal master, for saving my life. Thank you for saving the Lu family from disaster. Seeing this, I quickly stepped forward and helped the old master up. Please, old master, don't be so formal. Since I'm Wanqin's husband, the Lu family's trouble is my problem too. Helping was just the right thing to do. Old Master and Lu Lianshan saw. Old Master and Lu Lianshan saw. I still called myself the Lu family's son-in-law. They were overjoyed. They knew. With me around, someone who could easily defeat a powerful martial artist, the Lu family wouldn't decline. Instead, we'd become top of Jiangnan, or even rise above in a wider region. Lu Wanqin's beautiful eyes sparkled. She stared at me with mixed feelings. She walked up to me, looked shy and a bit guilty, head lowered, and said softly, Lin Fan, I judged you too soon before. I was rude to you. Please forgive me. Looking at this cold and proud woman before me, now so gentle, like a startled little deer, I didn't feel much. I smiled and said, no worries, darling. You joke too much. The chi blood pill and snacks you gave me, I really like them. When she saw I wasn't upset, her pretty face blushed. Standing to the side, Lu Zian jumped up happily, hugged my arm, and said to Lu Wanqin with pride, sis, told you so? My brother-in-law is awesome. You just never believed me before. Now you know I have good taste. Looking at Lu Zian's cute, innocent face, the tension in the hall faded. Everyone laughed kindly. After the banquet mess was handled, I found an excuse, and with people like Lu Lianshan seeing me off, went back to my courtyard, but this time, Lu Lianshan had already sent people to tidy up my small place. All the old junk was cleared out, replaced with luxe furniture and a soft bed. He even sent a bunch of skilled guards to stand watch outside 24/7, not letting anyone disturb my cultivation. The night was quiet. I sat on my brand new jade bed and focused my mind on that mysterious medicine in my brain. After a fierce fight, I'd forced my power up with a Bao Yuan pill. But now that effect was gone, my body felt weak in waves. That's the Bao Yuan pill's side effect. To get rid of any hidden dangers, I need to brew up an even stronger healing herb. And I still remember one thing. Tianshan Snow Lotus. That herb can steady my inborn stage. Maybe help me break through even further. Meng Tianhao is dead now, but Meng Songhai's storage ring is right here in my hand. As a gang leader, he had to be wealthy. Chances are, I'll find a clue about the Snow Lotus inside. I poured true qi into the ring, easily erased Meng Songhai's spirit mark, and scanned inside with my mind. The inside of the ring is pretty spacious. It's stacked with boxes of gold and a lot of cheap snacks. But all these mundane things don't interest me at all. My attention quickly gets drawn to a corner, where a delicate jade box, carved from ancient ice sits. I focus my thoughts, and the icy jade box suddenly appears in my hand. As soon as I pull it out, the room's temperature drops tenfold in an instant. A thin layer of frost even starts forming on the floor. I carefully open the jade box, and inside rests a strange, pure white, crystal clear flower bud, like a rare crystal. It's giving off an intense chill, with overflowing spiritual energy. A Tianshan Snow Lotus. I can't help but gasp softly. Unlocking my spiritual sense, I find out. This Snow Lotus, though sealed in ice, has preserved most of its spiritual essence. But, because it's been away from the freezing climate for too long, the roots are already showing signs of withering. If an ordinary alchemist found it, they'd have to refine it into a pill within 3 days. Or else it would lose all its power and become worthless grass. But I'm not like them. I have the mystic garden. As long as it has a spark of life in my spirit field, it'll come back to life. And with the spring water's nourishment, it can even fully recover. And with the spring water's help, it could grow into a legendary 1,000-year herb. I hold back my excitement, not daring to waste even a second, and instantly enter my medicine garden space. Next to the core of my spirit field, I use my innate energy to force open a patch of icy special soil, then transplant the Tianshan Snow Lotus in. I guide streams of the purest spring water from deep in the garden, gently watering the lotus roots. As I pour the spring water in, the black spots on the roots fade away at a speed visible to the naked eye. The petals, which were almost closed, begin to slowly bloom one by one. Brilliant, clear white light shines. A powerful, icy blue spiritual energy spreads all across the medicine garden, doubling the spiritual energy inside the whole field in a second. Doubling the spiritual energy inside the whole field in a second. Host, congrats on growing a level 5 spiritual medicine, Tianshan Snow Lotus. Because of its immense strength, the garden level is now 2. Spirit field has expanded to 10 acres. The spring water has upgraded to pure spirit essence. You've gained 50 years worth of true energy. You've obtained a strand of innate icy true energy. You've unlocked intermediate ancient alchemy. Spiritual sense range expanded to 200 meters. Boom. This breakthrough makes way more noise than any before. 50 years. This time it's massive compared to everything before. 50 years pure true energy. Rushes like an endless ocean inside me. It explodes through my body. My dantian, almost instantly, gets completely filled with that ocean of true chi. Then it keeps expanding again and again. Innate stage 2, then stage 3. Until I stably reach innate stage 4. My power multiplies several times over in that moment. What excites me more is that icy true energy strand. That's a seriously advanced type of energy. Once it's fused into my innate sword aura, my power will skyrocket. And when I hit an enemy, it can instantly freeze their energy channels and true chi. It's insanely overpowered. And my spiritual sense range shoots up all at once to 200 meters. Every tiny movement in those 200 meters, even rocks buried deep underground, can't escape my senses. The way I am now, just in little Jiangning City, I can control the fate of everyone. I'm like an almighty god. I slowly open my eyes, and though it's still pitch black before me, the view from my 200-meter star vision makes the corners of my mouth curl up with power. This feeling of fully controlling my own fate is just amazing. But before I can enjoy the thrill of getting way stronger, and fully settle down, suddenly, in my spiritual sense range, I detect rapid, heavy hoofbeats coming from the Liu family gates. More than 10 men, all in black combat gear, with a flying eagle emblem on their chests, are riding in on tall horses, charging hard, straight for the Liu mansion with killing intent. Each of those fighters is calm and steady, with bulging temples. Even the weakest one is at martial peak level 9. And the leader is actually a terrifying black eagle cult expert at innate stage 2 peak. My spirit sweeps across the eagle emblem on their chests, and instantly my mind flashes to this notorious cult in Jiangnan. The Black Eagle cult is ruthless, doing whatever it takes, and way stronger than the Salt Gang. Why would they suddenly come to the Liu family in the middle of the night? Are they Meng Songhai's backer? I focus all my senses on those Black Eagle fighters getting closer and closer. My instincts tell me Jiangnan won't have a quiet night tonight. The hoofbeats stop short at the Liu gates. That black-clad leader at innate stage 2 gets off his horse, then kicks the Liu family gate to pieces. A wild, arrogant voice echoes in the silent night sky. Lu Zhentian, get your ass out here. Hand over the Tianshan Snow Lotus within half an hour, or Black Eagle cult will slaughter the Liu family tonight. We'll wipe out your whole clan. The guy's cocky shout is mixed with powerful innate true energy, ringing above half of Jiangning City. It makes countless sleeping folks jump out of bed in a panic. Inside the Liu family home, chaos breaks out instantly. Liu Lianshan, just done dealing with the Salt Gang, and Liu Wanqing and the others, come out of the hall with pale faces. Seeing all those fierce Black Eagle masters at the door, fear and despair fill their eyes. Black Eagle cult. How did they know we have the Tianshan Snow Lotus? Liu Lianshan is shaking all over, not sure what to do. Lu Zhentian steps out, helped by Lu Zian. The old master might be experienced, but even he, standing before such a giant force known all over Jiangnan, can't help but sigh deeply. Old Master Lu walks to the gate, looks at the black-clad leader, and forcibly holds himself steady and bows slightly. So it's Black Eagle's protector Yin Chongkong. Protector Yin, what brings you to the Liu family so late tonight? As for the Tianshan Snow Lotus, I really have no idea about it. Lu Zhentian, stop pretending you don't know here. Yin Chongkong sneers, his killing intent clear in his eyes. Yin Chongkong sneers, his killing intent clear in his eyes. Meng Songhai from the Salt Gang, just recently in the far north, secretly snatched the Tianshan Snow Lotus our cult found. I've chased him all the way to Jiangning City. Turns out, he brought the Snow Lotus into your Liu family. And just now, I sensed the soul tablets of Meng Songhai and his son have shattered. Clearly, they died in your Liu family. That Tianshan Snow Lotus has to be with you now. Enough talk. Hand it over right now. Or else, I'll send your whole family to join them. You can keep Meng Songhai company. Hearing Yin Chongkong's words, the Liu family members finally understood. So this Tianshan Snow Lotus was actually snatched by the Salt Gang from the Black Hawk sect. And the Black Hawk sect is a top sect in Jiangnan. Their strength is way above the little Salt Gang. Now that they're here looking for trouble, how can the Liu family stop them? Lu Zhentian turned his head, anxiously looking toward my yard. After seeing what I can do, now, I'm their family's last hope. But facing the terrifying Black Hawk sect, I'm just their blind son-in-law who just started making a name. Can I really pull off another miracle? Lu Wanqing bit her lip too. Her eyes complicated as she looked my way. She hopes I'll stand up and save the family. But she's also scared that if I face the Black Hawk sect, something bad could happen to me. After all, as for anything happening to Yin Chong Kong. After all, Yin Chong Kong is a top-tier expert at the second level of Xiantian. Behind him are over 10 elite killers at the peak of the mortal martial realm. That kind of power can run wild in Jiangning City. Protector Yin, the Tianshan Snow Lotus really is with us. But young Master Lin Fan has already put it away. Lu Lianshan had no other choice, so he had to tell the truth. Who's Lin Fan? Yin Chong Kong frowned and asked with some disdain. He's our family's live-in son-in-law. Lu Lianshan pointed nervously toward my yard and said, a live-in son-in-law? Your Lu family is really going downhill. Counting on a son-in-law to shield you? Yin Chong Kong laughed out loud, his eyes full of contempt for the Lu family. I don't care who he is. In 10 seconds, make him bring the Tianshan Snow Lotus to me immediately, and beg for mercy on his knees. Or I'll kill all of you first, then go in and search myself. A cold countdown echoed through the night sky, like the chime of the Grim Reaper. It pressured everyone in the Lu family until they could barely breathe. Lu Xian's eyes turned red with worry, and she desperately wanted to rush to my yard. Brother-in-law, run. They're really strong. Don't worry about us anymore. Lu Xian's shout sounded so small and helpless in the night sky. So small and helpless. Hearing Lu Xian's worried voice, I stirred a little on my bath bed, the corner of my mouth showing a relieved smile. That girl really deserves all the care I've shown her. Since someone wants to die so badly, I'll grant their wish. Besides, judging by the name, Black Hawk sect sounds loaded. They probably have a bunch of rare medicine seeds hidden in their sect. I'm sure. For me, that's another huge gift delivered to my door. I slowly stood up, put on my blindfold, and picked up the ordinary bamboo stick. That survived the big fight without a scratch. I took a step out, and in a flash, my figure disappeared from the room. When I appeared again, I was quietly standing in the ruins of the Lu family's courtyard, right at the door, blocking the way between Yin Chong Kong and the Lu family. The night wind blew against my torn clothes, making a flapping sound. Holding the bamboo stick, I closed my eyes calmly, my whole body giving off an extreme sense of peacefulness. It was like all those murderous Black Hawk sect killers nearby were just air to me. Brother-in-law, you really came out. Lu Xian saw me arrive, and immediately cried out. Her pretty eyes were full of both joy and worry. Lu Zhentian and Lu Lianshan bowed excitedly to me. Nephew Lin, you finally made it. This is the head of the Black Hawk sect. My Yin Chong Kong protector is insanely strong. You better be careful. I slightly raised my head. Xinyan already checked out all 10 plus Black Hawk sect fighters at the door. She looked at them thoroughly. Gotta admit, the top disciples from big sects are way stronger than the rabble from the Yen gang. Especially Yin Chong Kong. His internal energy is super strong. He even seems to almost touch the threshold of the third innate level. But in my eyes, at innate level 4 now, he's no different from a 3-year-old. So you're Lin Fan, huh? Yin Chong Kong looked at me with a superior gaze, examining me. When he noticed I had zero martial aura at all, he instantly sneered with disappointment and contempt. I thought the Lu family hired some expert as their backer. Turns out, you're really just a blind nobody lacking any cultivation. Kid, I don't have time for your nonsense. Hand over the Tianshan Snow Lotus. Then get on your knees and kowtow to me 3 times. Maybe then I'll show mercy and let you die in one piece. I ignored his arrogant threats. I just quietly tapped the ground with my bamboo stick. In a flat voice, I said, the Snow Lotus is already planted in the ground by me. You're not getting it back. Planted in the ground? Yin Chong Kong paused for a second. Planted in the ground? He was momentarily stunned, then immediately went berserk. You damn blind man. That's a divine medicine, how dare you just waste it? If you want to die so bad, then I'll end you first. Before he finished speaking, Yin Chong Kong suddenly sprang forward like a fly. He stretched his fingers out in midair. Innate chi erupted, turning into 5 fierce Black Hawk claws, ripping through the night sky, shrieked and slashed right at my head. Black Hawk Bone Crusher claw targets my Bai Hui acupoint. That claw packs a huge punch. It's clear Yin Chong Kong is rage mode now. He wants to smash my head in an instant. The Lu family experts nearby felt the terrifying shockwave from that attack and stumbled back in fear. Some people even shut their eyes, too scared to watch me get brutally killed. But facing Yin Chong Kong's earth-shaking blow, I just stood there, didn't even move a step. When that sharp hawk claw was less than a foot from my head, I lifted my basic bamboo stick slowly. Almost lazily, I pointed it upward. Everyone looked on in shock. That flexible bamboo stick. As soon as it touched Yin Changkong's supposedly mountain-breaking iron hand, wasn't shattered at all. Instead, a strange, faint shine suddenly appeared. A strange, faint layer appeared. Icy blue shimmering true qi. Innate extreme frost qi. Crack. The crisp sound of ice suddenly rang through the air. The black hawk claw formed by his innate qi, the moment it touched the bamboo stick, was instantly completely frozen by that terrifying cold in a split second. Turned into a solid black ice chunk. Then, the freezing qi raced up through the palm's force, under Yin Changkong's shocked and terrified eyes, spreading wildly upward, freezing his entire right arm solid in a flash. How is this possible? What kind of true qi is that? Yin Changkong let out a terrified shout, trying to scramble backward. But my chilling energy was relentless. He couldn't back off, even if he wanted. I gave my wrist a light shake. The bamboo stick vibrated, and his entire frozen black ice arm shattered in midair with a loud crack, blasting ice shards everywhere. Ah! Yin Changkong let out a piercing scream. He crashed hard to the ground out of midair, rolling around in agony, clutching his empty right shoulder. The blood, frozen by my extreme frost qi, couldn't even spurt out. In a split second, it froze into red ice shreds. One move, that's all it took. Just one move. The Black Hawk sect an 8-second layer elite who terrorized Jiangnan. Yin Changkong lost an arm to me. It fell dead silent in front of the main gate. The fierce Black Hawk sect fighters were now all stunned, their steel blades trembling in the night, their eyes full of pure terror. To them, the me standing with a bamboo stick now wasn't just a blind beggar anymore. I was a peerless killer who decides life and death. You're actually at the innate middle stage. Yin Changkong lay on the ground, his face deathly pale. His eyes showed nothing but terror, all ambition completely gone. As a protector of Black Hawk sect, he's seen a lot. To lose to one strike from someone at his level, only those old freaks at the innate middle stage in long-term seclusion could do this. There couldn't be anyone else. But this blind guy in front of me looks maybe 20. What kind of freak is he? I gripped my bamboo stick and walked step by step toward Yin Changkong. The bamboo hit the stone floor, making a steady tapping sound. To the Black Hawk sect goons, every tap felt like a sledgehammer, hitting their hearts. They could barely breathe. Do you still want the Tianshan Snow Lotus? I could barely breathe. Do you still want the Tianshan Snow Lotus? My calm voice slowly drifted in the night air. Yin Changkong was scared out of his mind, frantically crawling backward on the ground, shouting, "No! No more! Senior, have mercy! We Black Hawk sect were blind to challenge you. Please, for the sake of our leader, spare us this time." Black Hawk sect leader? I glanced at his terrified face and coldly sneered. Who does he think he is? He isn't qualified for my mercy. As I finished speaking, my figure turned into a blur again, disappearing from where I stood. A split second later, the whole street in front of the Liu family erupted in a wave of intense, rapid impacts. Gripping the bamboo stick, my mastery of movement and iron body combined flawlessly, weaving through the Black Hawk sect killers. Didn't even need much innate energy, just raw power of my body and the perfect vision of my mind's eye. Every stab from my stick crushed a Black Hawk sect expert's chest or shattered a throat. Screams echoed across the street. After just 10 seconds, peace returned in front of the main gate. Over 10 of the Black Hawk sect elite assassins, feared like devils in Jiangning City, were now just cold corpses, lying stiff in a pool of blood. The corpse lay stiff in a pool of blood, from start to finish, on my tattered clothes. Not a single drop of blood touched me. Yin Changkong stared at this hellish scene. He was totally terrified. He was sprawled on the ground, shaking all over, like a scared, homeless dog, begging me desperately, kowtowing for mercy. "Spare me, senior. Please, spare me, senior." I looked at him coldly, raised my bamboo stick just a bit, pointed it right at his forehead. "I'll give you a chance to live. Tell me every hidden location where Black Eagle sect stores rare herb seeds in Jiangnan. Hand them over or else. Tonight, you'll join your men." Hearing he might live, Yin Changkong, he dared not hide a single thing. Scrambling on the ground, he took out a very old sheepskin scroll from his coat, handed it to me respectfully. "Senior, this is from the treasure map I handed over to Jiangnan branch. It's got the spots where the sect master collected rare plants from all over Jiangnan. Over 300 rare herb seeds. All inside. Please, senior, spare me." I glanced at it with inner sight, confirmed the scroll was real, put it away in my jacket, then said one word to him, "Go." Yin Changkong felt relieved. ignoring his injuries. He scrambled onto his horse, rode out of Jiangning City without looking back, fled wildly. The rest fled as well. The aftermath. With the Lu family members all looking at me like worshipping a god. Lu Lianshan quickly sent people to clean up. After this event, everyone in the Lu family, towards me, felt deep respect and awe. Nobody dared show any disrespect. When I got back to my yard, I gripped the sheepskin scroll in my arms. A meaningful smile appeared on my lips. With this treasure map of over 300 rare seeds, my secret medicine catalog is definitely about to get a huge, terrifying upgrade soon. And my name, Lin Fan, will spread across all of Jiangnan. And in the martial history of the Great Xia Empire, it'll leave the boldest mark ever. But what I didn't know, after Ing Chongkong's escape, inside the Black Eagle sect headquarters, a middle-aged man with a sinister face suddenly opened his eyes. The aura from him, at the 5th peak of innate level, instantly destroyed the secret room. Dared to kill our Black Eagle sect guardian, and take my divine medicine. Whoever you are, I'll grind you to dust. A chilling oath echoed through the night. My path of martial arts revenge has just begun its most glorious chapter. Next morning, all of Jiangning's streets and alleys buzzed about last night's epic battle. The Yan gang, once a top power, was wiped out overnight. Leader Meng Songhai and his son killed. 2 grand elders died. Yan gang's businesses in Jiangning suddenly became ownerless, as all the small factions started moving, ready to fight over the spoils. Lu family, the business giant, struck hard. In one day, took over all of Yan gang's stores and docks. A few martial sects tried to resist. Lu family's new masked grandmaster smacked them down with one blow. From then on, only the Lu family ruled Jiangning. And at the center of all this chaos, me, the Lu family's blind son-in-law, I still stayed like always, in my refined, elegant yard, living secluded, never going out. Right then, I sat beside the stone table in my yard, holding that scroll, the old sheepskin map from Ing Chongkong, examining the routes with inner sight. The map was very detailed. Black Eagle sect's branch in Jiangnan is deep in Luoyan Mountains, 50 miles west of Jiangling City, covered in fog year-round. Terrain is dangerous. It's a well-defended natural fortress and treasure vault. The terrain is naturally protected and hard to attack. The treasure is hidden here. It's right in the core underground caverns of the branch, guarded heavily inside. With several elders at the first innate stage, they take turns on duty all year. There's even some powerful anti-theft traps set up. But now that I'm at the 4th innate stage, and have keen senses, those guards and traps are pretty much useless to me. I focus my mind. My spirit once again enters the mysterious medicine in my mind. With Tianshan Snow Lotus now growing successfully, and the medicine field upgraded to level 2, the fertile spiritual field now covers about 10 acres. The spiritual energy here is so thick it's almost overwhelming. With this liquid spiritual energy nourishing everything, the herbs I planted like dandelion grass have started spreading and multiplying widely, constantly, providing me a steady boost of pure inner energy. Though each boost isn't huge, the sheer number and endless supply make it worthwhile. At this rate, even if I don't hunt for higher level herbs, within 3 years, I could break through to the peak of midinate just by stacking these basic herbs, reaching the peak of midinate easily. But the martial arts world here is unstable. The threat from the Black Eagle sect leader hangs over me like a sharp sword. I don't have 3 years to waste. I have to act before the Black Eagle leader catches on. Take the initiative. Go collect all the rare herb seeds from the Luoyan mountain branch, claiming them for myself, and wipe out this threat that's been hanging over me. Brother-in-law, what are you thinking about? You look so absorbed. Lu Xian's lively, cheerful voice comes from the yard entrance. I check with my senses. I see her, wearing a slick black fitted outfit today, with a fine longsword hanging from her waist, looking both heroic and charming like a young girl. Behind her, Lu Wanqing, looking a bit shy, follows. Lu Wanqing today, specially changed into a deep blue robe she stitched herself, holding in her hands a beautifully crafted jade pot with a warm medicinal aroma. I slowly fold up the map, smiling gently. Nothing really, just feeling the morning breeze. Why are you and your sister free today, and visiting me together? Lu Wanqing walks up to me, and nervously puts the jade furnace on the table. She softly says, Lin Fan, my father, found this 100-year-old purple copper medicine furnace specially for you from the storage room. I heard you know some alchemy, and this furnace might be useful to you. Also inside, there are 3 stalks Of our family's treasured 100-year-old ginseng, passed down for generations. Though it's not as mystical as Tianshan snow lotus. Not as mystical as snow lotus. But it's still a rare healing tonic. You were tired yesterday, so take it to recover your health. 100-year-old purple copper medicine furnace. 100-year-old ginseng. I scan it with my senses. Sure enough, inside the jade furnace are 3 quality ginsengs glowing faint red, all with a 100-year history. This is honestly a refreshing gift for me right now. A truly thoughtful present. Thank you both and father-in-law for the kindness. I'll gladly accept it. I smile and take it, feeling secretly happy inside. The ginseng seeds and plants, once I plant them in my medicine field, will not only expand my herb collection, but the ginseng's pure yang energy can balance the extreme cold qi from Tianshan snow lotus, balancing yin and yang. Maybe my inner energy might transform and level up. Lu Zian leans over, showing off to Lu Wanqing. See, sis, I told you. Brother-in-law would definitely like it. You were worried he'd dislike it yesterday. With Lu Zian teasing her, Lu Wanqing's face blushes bright red like a ripe apple. She gives her sister a glare. Don't talk unless you have to. Watching the sisters play around, I feel peaceful inside. In this brutal and scheming world, moments like this feel really precious. I sat and chatted with them for a while. During that time, I cleverly asked Lu Zian about some geography of Luoyan mountain range. Lu Zian trains at Qingyun Temple, and often goes out to train with seniors from the temple. She knows the Luoyan range well. Luoyan mountain range, that place is pretty dangerous. The deep mountains are always covered in toxic mists. Normal people collapse after just a few steps. Plus, there are fierce beasts inside. Worst of all, it's said that the famous evil sect, the Black Eagle sect, has an important branch hidden there. Hidden deep inside. Why are you asking about this, brother-in-law? Don't ever go there alone. It's way too dangerous. Lu Zian warns me worriedly. I smile and shake my head. Don't worry, I'm just asking out of curiosity. I'm blind. I can't even leave Jiangning City. How could I go to a place like that? When I say this, the sisters finally relax. They stay with me until noon, then leave reluctantly. After seeing them off, my smile slowly fades, replaced by a cold and determined look. Black Eagle Sect Branch, Luoyan Mountain Range. Tonight is when you'll be destroyed. Night falls, clouds cover the sky, blocking all moonlight and starlight. All of Jiangnan is swallowed in pitch-black silence. All of Jiangnan is lost in utter darkness. A perfect time for murder and robbery. I put on a sleek black outfit, wear my mask, pack up the purple copper medicine furnace and the high-grade pills I just collected, grab my bamboo staff, and slip out of the Lu family compound like smoke, leaving without a trace in the night sky. Not a single trace left behind. With my terrifying 4th innate level strength and mastery of the grass step movement technique, traveling at full speed, for a 50-mile road that should take a day by horse, I make it there in less than half an hour. Arriving at the front of Luoyan mountain range, white mist rises, and the air smells slightly pungent and bloody. Just like Lu Zian said, deadly natural poison mist. But with my heart sense, I can clearly see the molecular makeup and flow of all these toxins. All their paths are mapped in my mind. I don't even bother taking an antidote pill. Just circulate my extreme cold innate chi inside, and outside my body, it forms a layer of frosty shield. When the toxins hit the frost shield, they freeze instantly from the extreme cold chi, turning into tiny black ice crystals. Powerlessly crash to the ground. It couldn't hurt me at all. I'm holding a bamboo pole, walking calmly along a foggy steep mountain path, strolling as if nothing worries me. Step by step along the steep mountain path. Sheer cliffs all around, and a tangle of twisty paths. With my mind scanning 200 meters in every direction. Everything is way clearer than in broad daylight. Soon, I easily avoided the traps and hidden guards set by Black Hawk sect. There were dozens all over the mountain path. Silently, I reached deeper into the heart of the mountains. Right at the entrance of the Black Hawk sect branch, a massive black castle built against the mountain. Its walls tower several meters high, covered in sharp iron spikes. Dozens of torch-wielding, black-clad guards, patrolling back and forth, on high alert. At the deepest part of the castle, 3 powerful auras faintly radiate. One is innate stage 2. 2 are innate stage 1. They are the branch's resident 3 top masters. Tonight, all evil here will feed my mysterious medicine valley. I sneer. No longer hiding. I tap the ground with my bamboo pole. My whole body turns into a blinding ice blue streak. Like a sword tearing through the night. Rushing straight for the tall black gate. blasting toward it. Who's there? The black-clad gatekeepers had just enough time to cry out. The heavy black iron gate, under my icy blue innate energies attack. Struck by the innate energy, shatters like fragile tofu, breaking apart instantly. The surge of energy becomes a fierce wind, sweeping up sharp iron shards, and instantly shredding the guards, turning them into a mist of blood. Alarm! Alarm! Strong enemy invading. The shrill alarms echo throughout the Black Castle in an instant. Countless Black Hawk sect killers, weapons drawn, pouring furiously from every room. When they see, among the bloody mist, a masked figure standing calmly, holding a bamboo stick in black clothing, fear fills their eyes. You daredevil! How dare you storm our Black Hawk branch? Are you looking to die? With a roar of rage, 3 powerful figures stride out from the castle depths. The leader is an old man with silver hair, radiating the force of late-stage innate 2. He's the highest authority here, Branch Chief Lang Joyo. Behind him, 2 sinister innate 1 elders follow. Lang Joyo looks at the carnage, at the dead and wounded guards, shaking with fury, glares at me. Who are you really? Why do you oppose Black Hawk sect? I don't bother answering. Just slowly raise my bamboo pole, pointing at his head. Cold voice, coming from underneath my mask, slowly spills out. You stole from me. Time to send you all off. Arrogant to the extreme. Kill him. Lang Joyo roars. He attacks first, his whole body wrapped in dark innate energy, turning into countless flying black feathers. Each feather, as sharp as a deadly dart, whistling as they fly, covering me from every direction. Black Hawk and Shark. At the same time, the 2 innate elders behind him draw their swords and attack. 2 fierce sword energies strike from both sides, sealing off any escape. Faced with 3 masters attacking together, I don't retreat, I charge in. Exhale a breath. Terrifying innate stage 4 energy. Right then, explodes without holding back. Boom! A solid storm of ice blue energy spreads from me, sweeping around for 100 meters. Those flying black feathers, when they hit the storm, instantly freeze into ice shards, falling all over the ground. Those 2 fierce sword energies get dissolved by cold air in midair, turn to nothing. What? This aura is beyond innate stage 4. Lang Joyo's eyes nearly pop out. Scared out of his mind. He can't believe this voice. Scared out of his wits. He just couldn't believe it. That the masked figure sneaking into the mountains at night was actually a peerless powerhouse at mid-innate stage. But now he realized it too late. I snorted coldly. My body turned into a blinding flash, streaked through the air. Slash, slash. The sound of blades cutting flesh rang out clean and fast. Those 2 elders of the insect clan didn't even have time to scream before my icy blue sword energy sliced off their heads, and their bodies froze into ice statues in an instant, crashing heavily to the ground, shattering into powder. Lang Joyo was scared out of his mind. He didn't dare resist at all. He let out a frantic howl and ran desperately toward the treasury in the rear mountain, trying to escape like a madman. Trying to run? I sneered. Grandmaster movement technique, grass flies on dew. Used to the max. My body blinked in and out of thin air, almost teleporting. And I got ahead, blocking Lang Joyo's way. My staff carried an icy, bone-chilling energy. It looked slow but was actually impossible to evade. And struck Lang Joyo right in the chest. Bang! He flew out like a cannonball. Slammed into the iron gate of the treasury, crushing the door inward. He spat out mouthfuls of blood mixed with ice shards. His eyes filled with despair. Total hopelessness and begging in his gaze. Please, senior, spare me. I'll give you all the treasure in our branch. I'm begging you, let me live. I walked up to him, staring down at the leader collapsed on the floor, and said coldly, your life is worthless. As for your branch's belongings, I'll take them myself. As I finished speaking, innate energy gathered at my fingertip, turning into a sharp sword aura that pierced Lang Joyo's forehead instantly, ending his evil life. With that, the Black Hawk sect, Luoyan Mountain Branch, lost all its top ranks. The rest of the regular assassins in black, after seeing those almost godlike brutal methods of mine, were already fleeing in all directions. No one dared to stick around. I pushed open the caved-in iron gate and walked straight into the treasury of the Black Hawk branch. The treasury was massive inside. Piles of gold and silver stacked like mountains, and crates of fine steel weapons. But in my spiritual sense, these things were just piles of trash. My eyes instantly locked on to the very heart of the treasury. A huge platform made of white jade. On top, hundreds of beautiful wooden boxes glowing with powerful light. Inside each box are the Black Hawk Sect's treasures collected over years. From all over Jiangnan. High-grade spirit herb seeds gathered from all over Jiangnan. And precious medicinal ingredients. Some even had seeds of 3rd grade and 4th grade spirit herbs. And there were even a few half-withered 5th grade spiritual plants. Seeing this table full of rare seeds and herbs, I felt the energy in my body thrumming with excitement. This time, my mysterious pharmacy is definitely about to make a breakthrough like never before. And my martial arts cultivation will tonight finally step into a brand new level normal folks can't imagine. I took a deep breath, forcing down my excitement, focused my mind, and directly connected to the mysterious pharmacy in my mind. Starting an unprecedented sweep. Collect, collect, collect for me. As my mind flickered, hundreds of those wooden boxes on the jade table, in an instant, vanished from the real world one after another, and appeared in my mysterious herbal garden. On that vast 10-acre plot of spiritual farmland. In the field, spirit spring water turned into a fine misty rain, nourishing these precious new arrivals. Detected, level 3 spirit herb, blazing sun grass, planted. Received 5 streams of true energy, 5 years. Detected, level 3 spirit herb, ice lotus, planted. Received 5 streams of true energy, 8 years. Detected, level 4 spirit herb, heavenly origin herb, planted. Received 5 streams of true energy, 20 years. Detected, level 4 spirit herb, 9-leaf Ganoderma, planted. Received 5 streams of true energy, 25 years. Countless clear system chimes echoed in my mind, coming together as the most beautiful music in the world. A tidal wave of pure, terrifying true energy. Like hundreds of mighty dragons, rushing wildly through my meridians, all over my body, began to ooze 10 times more black impurities than before. Bones, muscles, and organs inside me were being totally transformed by this massive energy, undergoing a deep rebirth. My 4th innate bottleneck was shattered by this energy storm. Didn't last even one breath. And exploded completely. Innate level 5. Innate level 6. Innate level 7. Until I finally stabilized at innate level 8. The extreme cold energy in my body was so dense it almost turned liquid, rushing through my meridians. Sounded like roaring rivers. My spiritual awareness range was expanding at an insane speed. 300 meters, 500 meters, 800 meters. Until everything within a 1 kilometer radius was under my control. A 1 kilometer radius. That means half of Jiangling City. Right now. That means half of Jiangling City's movements. Right now. Are all in my stargazer's vision. If I wanted to, I could even hear a random villager mumbling in their sleep a kilometer away. Right now, me. In this Jiangnan area. I'm basically the uncrowned king. Not just that. My ancient alchemy skills leveled up too. Too advanced. My mind now filled with countless recipes and secrets. For making level 5 and level 6 divine pills. Even the method to craft the legendary 9-turn golden pill. I slowly opened my eyes. Though the world in front of me was still deathly dark. My mind's inner world was bright and dazzling like a galaxy above. Black Hawk Sect, you never should have messed with me. Now your branch has been wiped out by me. Years of collected seeds have now become my stepping stones to the martial peak. When I finish growing these herbs, even your sect leader at peak 5th innate could come himself. But to the Lin fan of today, he's nothing but an ant I could crush with one palm. I gave a cold laugh, put away my staff, and in the air, turned into a streak of icy blue smoke. Leaving the Luoyan Mountains without a trace, rushed toward Jiangning City. And tonight, at Luoyan Mountain, a shocking massacre happened deep within Luoyan Mountain. By daylight tomorrow, the entire martial world of the Great Xia Empire will be shaken. In the blink of an eye, 3 days passed quietly. Inside Jiangning City, because the Black Eagle cult's Luoyan Mountain branch was wiped out, waves of chaos erupted again. Everyone knew. A mysterious masked grandmaster stepped in. Not only did he slaughter the entire branch overnight, he also raided every treasure Black Eagle cult had collected for years, taking everything. The Black Eagle cult's headquarters was furious. Rumor says their leader, Black Eagle Ancestor, personally emerged, bringing the cult's last 5 grand elders. They were heading toward Jiangning City, oozing with killing intent. They're out to find that brazen, mysterious person and grind him to dust. But me, the one who started all this, I'm still calm as ever, sitting in the cozy little yard fixed up by Lu Jessen, holding an invitation just delivered by Lu Lianshan for the Jiangnan Martial Arts Tournament. I carefully checked what it said with my inner eye. Jiangnan Martial Arts Tournament. A grand event in Jiangnan's martial world every 3 years. Every top clan and sect around Jiangnan, and masters from great families, all gather in Jiangnan City. For matches and to settle the power structure. Most importantly, they say the champion of the tournament will not only get recognition from Great Xia, but also be personally granted a title by the imperial family. Even more, they'll win the legendary holy medicine grown for 500 years. 9-leaf, 9-flower, 7-star grass. 9-leaf, 9-flower, 7-star grass. With a sweep of my mind, memories of advanced alchemy came flooding back. Instantly, I remembered it all. It's one of the 3 keys to make 9-turn golden pill. Extremely rare. If I can get it, and grow it in my secret medicinal garden, I could totally break past the innate limit, and step into the mythical golden core realm. By then, no one in the whole Great Xia Empire could beat me. Lin Fan. Are you really going to join the Jiangnan Martial Arts Tournament? Lu Wanqing brought me a bowl of fresh ginseng soup, and walked over to me. Her beautiful eyes were full of worry and care. Now she was completely taken in by my mystery and strength. Her heart was already tied to me, the once blind live-in son-in-law. I took the soup, drank a sip, and smiled lightly. 9-leaf, 9-flower, 7-star grass. I'm determined to get it. And besides, isn't the Black Eagle cult's ancestor on his way here now? I actually want to see if his 5-fold peak innate skill can handle one swing of my bamboo staff. Hearing my relaxed tone, Wanqing still felt a bit anxious inside, but she knew she couldn't change my mind. She sighed, a little upset. Just promise you'll come back safe. Xian and I will wait for you at home. I nodded, then stood up and grabbed my trusty bamboo staff that's been with me through countless fights. The night wind brushed my clothes, bringing a slight chill. My eyes under the blindfold were shut tight, but in my mind's star-eye whirled. A grand, epic scene was already drawn. A mighty image of reaching for the stars. A storm is brewing in Jiangnan. Lin Fan has arrived. Jiangnan City. A massive stronghold in all of Great Xia Empire. One of the largest cities. Its walls rise into the clouds, dozens of meters high, built from nearly unbreakable black 5 stone, giving off a sense of age and pressure. At the gate, martial artists from all over Jiangnan, elite clans, masters, and wandering experts kept arriving. The crowd was buzzing. The city was lively. I still wore my old cloth clothes, carrying my bamboo pole, walking slowly through the busy streets of the capital. Lu Wanqing and Lu Xian followed me, one on each side. Wanqing's icy, stunning beauty made many passers-by stop and stare, while Xian's lively and cute personality kept her talking the whole way, telling me all about the city's customs and highlights. Brother-in-law, look over there at Wangjiang Tower. Local customs and culture. Brother-in-law, look at Wangjiang Tower over there. I heard their braised carp is amazing. After we finish the martial arts tournament, you have to take me there to eat, okay? Lu Xian tugged on my sleeve, acting all cute. I smiled slightly, then nodded, sure. As long as Xian likes it. When the time comes, I'll take you and order every great dish they have. Talk about bragging with no plan. You, a blind guy? You actually want to go spend money at Wangjiang Tower? That's hilarious. Just then, a cold, mocking laugh full of disdain came from nearby. I sensed with my mind's eye. A few young men in fancy robes were walking toward us. The leader looked weak, with a pale face, emitting the aura of level 8 martial realm. Behind him were 2 flunky sidekicks. The moment the leader saw Lu Wanqing, his eyes lit up instantly, filled with obvious greed and shock. I'm Bai Zihua, young master of the Bai family from Jinling. Nice to meet you, miss. May I have your name? Will you join me for dinner at Wangjiang Tower? Let's eat together. Bai Zihua totally ignored me, walked up to Lu Wanqing, posed what he thought was a suave posture and said, Bai family. My mind's eye twitched a bit. Info about the major powers in Jiangnan flashed through my mind. I recalled intel on all the big forces there. The Bai family in Jinling is a business giant in the Jiangnan guilds. They're even stronger overall than the Lu family from earlier. Especially Bai Zihua's father, Bai Wushuang, who's said to have reached Xiantian level 1, a top-level powerhouse. No wonder Bai Zihua is so arrogant. Lu Wanqing frowned deeply, shot Bai Zihua a look of disgust, and said coldly, not interested. Step aside. The smile on Bai Zihua's face froze. He sounded both angry and cold. Snorted, lady. I'm the future heir of the Bai family in Jinling. It's a huge honor for me to invite you to dinner. That's the best luck you could ever dream of. Don't refuse a toast. Only to drink punishment. As for that blind beggar next to you. Bai Zihua pointed at me, his eyes full of scorn and disgust. Does he deserve to be with you? Kid, if you know what's good for you, get lost right now. Leave the lady here. Or I'll break your legs myself today. When Bai Zihua openly insulted me, Lu Ziyan was instantly furious. She stepped forward, pulled her sword from her waist in a flash, pointed it at Bai Zihua's nose and snapped, "Damn pig. Watch your mouth. How dare you insult my brother-in-law? Today I'm gonna take you down." Seeing Lu Ziyan draw her sword, Bai Zihua wasn't scared at all. Instead, he laughed out loud. Burst out laughing. A level 7 martial arts brat, not bad. But still nothing to me. Men, take her down too. Tonight, I'm going for a double score. Yes, young master. The 2 level 9 martial fighters behind Bai Zihua grinned wickedly and lunged at Lu Ziyan from both sides. Lu Ziyan is talented, but facing 2 stronger martial fighters, she was overwhelmed right away, and things looked dangerous. Lu Wanqing grew anxious when she saw this, about to jump in and help, but before she could do anything, the bamboo pole in my hand had already gently tapped the ground. I activated my ultimate Cloudwalker footwork in a split second. In that instant, before anyone could even blink, I instantly blocked in front of Lu Ziyan like a phantom. That seemingly fragile bamboo stick moved as if at random in the air. Thud, thud. 2 heavy blows landed with a dull thump. The 2 level 9 flunkies who lunged at me didn't even touch my sleeve, but in a flash, the force in the bamboo pole hit like a tidal wave and sent them flying. They crashed hard into the shop walls nearby, and even the solid blackstone walls cracked open. On the ground, even the tough black walls fractured. They spit blood like mad and passed out cold. The crowded street at the gate fell deadly silent. All the bystanders and performers stared at me, frozen. Their eyes were full of disbelief. A blind guy just took out 2 top martial fighters with one move. If they hadn't seen this with their own eyes, who would believe a blind guy is a real fighter? Bai Zihua turned pale with terror and couldn't help but take 2 steps back, eyes brimming with fear. I held my bamboo stick, and though my blinded eyes were shut behind the blindfold, a cold, crushing aura pressed down, locking Bai Zihua in place like a mountain. 3 seconds. Break your own hands, then get out of my sight. Or else tonight, Jiangnan City will have one more corpse. My voice was flat, but had no trace of human emotion. To Bai Zihua, it was like the judgment from hell. You dare threaten me? My father's Bai Wushuang, the Xiantian Grandmaster of Jinling. You touch me, the entire Bai family will come for you. Bai Zihua shouted, trying to sound bold, hoping his family name would scare me off. But he'd made the wrong move. In my eyes, he really messed up. From my perspective, don't even mention Bai Wushuang at level 1. The whole Bai family could be squashed like dust. The cold countdown began. 3. Bai Zihua finally broke down. He could feel it. This seemingly gentle blind guy was really, truly ready to kill him the next moment. He screamed, turned and ran for his life, trying to reach the Bai family residence. Desperate to escape. Think you can run? I sneered, swung my bamboo stick in the air. A thin, sharp, icy blue sword aura sliced through the air, like a venomous snake, flashing past both his wrists. A desperate, blood-curdling scream echoed down the street. Blood sprayed from both his wrists, fresh red streams spurting out. And in an instant, it all froze solid. So he didn't even need to stop the bleeding. Bai Zihua rolled on the ground, shrieking in agony. His cries made everyone around shiver. Get lost, I snapped. With a swipe of my bamboo stick, a blast of force sent Bai Zihua flying, slammed hard at the entrance of Bai Wushuang's place, crippled the Bai family's eldest son's hands. I calmly put away the bamboo pole. I turned to the 2 sisters, still stunned. I turned and spoke to the dumbfounded sisters. Wanqing, Ziyan, let's go. Let's find an inn to stay at. Brother-in-law is so cool. Lu Ziyan reacted first. She was so happy she started waving her hands and feet. She grabbed my arm and shook it over and over. Lu Wanqing's eyes also shone brilliantly, gazing at my broad, strong back. Her heart was filled with a new kind of pride and safety. This man, he's the one. Lu Wanqing's husband. A true hero who'll shield her from everything. The 3 of us left slowly under everyone's awestruck, admiring stares, and walked away. On a distant rooftop nearby stood a handsome elderly man in a black raincoat. He was staring intently at my back as I left. His eyes cold and cruel, full of killing intent like a snake. Master, that's Lin Fan. He's the one who slaughtered us at the Luoyan mountain branch. He also took the Tianshan snow lotus. Standing behind Black Eagle, old ancestor, was Ing Chongkong, lucky to escape with his life. At the moment, he clutched his empty right shoulder. He spoke with clenched teeth. The Black Eagle ancestor let out a cold laugh. His withered finger snapped lightly on the railing. He crushed the whole iron railing to dust. What a blind little brat. His strength has reached mid-innate stage. No wonder that useless Lang Joyo died by your hands. But that's nothing. Before me, at the peak of fifth innate stage. He's still just a slightly bigger ant. Send my orders. Let Bai Wuxuang from the Bai family go and test this boy. Since Bai Zihua is ruined, Bai Wuxuang, that old fox, won't just sit by. We'll just watch them fight it out. When both sides are badly hurt, that's when I'll step in myself. Not only will I take back the Tianshan Snow Lotus, I'll also bring back the boy's head as an offering. My brother died for the master's holy cause. Chang Kong let out a long laugh. As if he could already see me being tortured to a miserable death by Black Eagle ancestor. Inside a luxury inn in Jiangnan Prefecture. Lu Wanqing, her sister, and I just finished unpacking. I found an excuse to be alone in my room. Locked the door tight. And instantly sank into the mysterious medicine garden. The treasures seized from the Luoyan mountain branch. Over 300 rare herbs, planted in the level 2 garden and crazily watered by Spirit Spring, are now mostly taking root. Fresh green shoots appeared already. Across the 10-acre garden, thick, liquid-like colorful spirit mist covered everything. Every breath. I can feel the true energy inside me, circulating like crazy at a scary speed. And growing stronger. My inner energy is speeding up. And becoming more powerful. My peak 8th innate stage is now being shaken by all this massive spirit energy. It's finally starting to loosen. Just half a step to the 9th innate realm. That's all that's left. To make sure nothing goes wrong at tomorrow's tournament. And to be ready for the threat of Black Eagle ancestor, who could appear any moment, I decided tonight to fully refine a Great Tao creation pill that will take me to the 9th stage. Great Tao creation pill. Even in ancient times, this was an extremely rare level 6 supreme elixir. It lets martial artists break through with a 100% chance of success and leaves behind 0 side effects. 3 key ingredients: blazing sungrass and century-old red ginseng. I've cultivated them in my garden, and now they're all mature. Some are even much older than legends say. I take a deep breath and force down the surging true energy inside me. With a single thought, the century-old purple copper furnace, given to me by Lu Wanqing, floats up before me. Under my perfectly controlled icy true energy, a weirdly clear blue flame begins to burn fiercely under the cauldron. I add spirit herbs one by one, their scent thick in the air, carefully tossing each into the furnace, and begin to refine. I toss the unstable ingredients into the cauldron. That began the most important alchemy attempt of my martial path. Time slipped by without me noticing. Inside the whole room, a rich and mysterious herbal fragrance started to spread. The scent even pierced the defense array of the room. It swept across the whole inn, even half the city, spreading out fast. Countless passing martial artists caught the smell. Their inner energy immediately started to stir. They all looked up in shock, gazing toward our inn. Someone's making a peerless pill. Not good, the fragrance is leaking. The Black Eagle sect and Bai Wuxuang's men will trace it over here for sure. On a nearby rooftop just outside my inn, Ing Zhangkong, who's been spying on me, saw it all. His face suddenly changed. A flicker of greed flashed in his eyes. Go, notify the sect master and Bai Wuxuang. That blind guy is making a top-tier pill. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. We can't let him succeed. The storm of battle spread at that moment, casting a dark cloud over all of Jinling. Meanwhile, deep inside my inn room, I've reached the most critical moment. The century-old bronze cauldron was blasted by wild innate fire and started to glow with a blinding red light. Inside, the potion swirled. It was spinning and crashing inside like mad, making sounds like dragons singing and tigers roaring. Success or failure comes down to this, I shouted loudly. A flood of ice-cold innate energy rushed into the cauldron like a tidal wave. It instantly forced the wild powers to condense. With a deafening boom, the blast shook the whole room. The cauldron lid shot up to the ceiling. A dazzling, sunlight golden light exploded out of the cauldron, lighting up the pitch-black room as bright as day. Amid the brilliant golden glow, a shiny golden pill, covered in 9 strange cloud markings, quietly floated in midair. It radiated a terrifying spiritual force. Grade 6 Supreme Deluo Fortune Pill, complete. Holding back my excitement, I snatched up the Deluo Fortune Pill. Without hesitating, I popped it straight into my mouth. It melted instantly, turning into an ocean of liquid spiritual energy. It completely engulfed me in a split second. Every cell in my body cheered at that moment, devouring this mysterious power. My bottleneck at the peak of the 8th realm. Under the Deluo fortune pill's power. Dissolved in a heartbeat, like spring snow melting. 9th realm, achieved. I've finally reached the peak of the innate level. The 9th heaven of innate. Feeling endless, surging inner force inside me. Even starting to liquefy faintly. Condensing into a mighty flood. I couldn't help but look up. And let out a ringing, high-pitched howl. My voice carried overwhelming innate pressure. That made roof tiles come crashing down all over the inn. But, before I could fully feel that soaring strength, I snapped out of it. Because my star eye's 200-meter vision sent me images. That made my lips curl with a murderous chill. At the inn entrance, over a dozen powerful warriors appeared, surrounding the entire inn tightly. The man in front wore golden robes. A serious-looking middle-aged guy. He was surging with strong late first-tier innate energy. It was Bai Wuxuang, head of the Bai family. Standing next to Bai Wuxuang was also Ing Zhangkong, and dozens of deadly Black Eagle sect assassins. Each held a weapon and stared at my room, eyes full of greed. And on the rooftop stood the Black Eagle sect master himself. A true top innate 5th level powerhouse. A true top-tier 5th level innate master. Bai Wuxuang, your crippled son is right in there. That blind man just got his hands on a grade 6 peerless pill. Help me kill him. The pill is yours. I'll take the Tianshan Snow Lotus and the blind guy's life. What's your answer? Standing above on the rooftop, Black Eagle spoke down to Bai Wuxuang. Bai Wuxuang's face struggled. But thinking of his ruined, useless son, and that legendary grade 6 pill, greed and rage totally overpowered his reason. He gritted his teeth and snapped, deal. Sect master, I like your style. I'll join you today, just this once. Lin Fan, get out here and die. Come out and die. They roared wildly, their voices echoing far into the night. The whole street trembled from the blast. I stood up slowly, put on my blindfold, weighed my bamboo stick in my hand, and grinned with a sly, evil smile. Bai Wuxuang, Black Eagle. You old dogs are in a hurry to die, huh? Then I'll be nice today. And send you on your way. Before I finished speaking, my body vanished from the room in a flash. And in front of the inn, a figure appeared suddenly, holding a bamboo rod. Dressed in ruffled clothes, bamboo stick in hand, and a bloody shadow blocking all the martial artists. Blocking the way of all the masters. The night breeze blew by, carrying a heavy smell of blood. A big battle was about to break out. You're that Lin Fan? Bai Wuxuang looked at me, suddenly at the door. Showing up out of nowhere. His pupils shrank. He felt a hint of unease. But then remembered. He had Black Eagle, peak of 5th stage, on his side. His confidence soared again. He pointed at me. And cursed, you damn blind fool. How dare you cripple my son's hands? Today, Bai will grind you to dust. I ignored him. And his clownish screaming. My star eye swept over Black Eagle on the roof. My cold voice floated over the silent street. Come at me together. Don't waste my time. Arrogant fool. Kill him. Bai Wuxuang roared. And struck first. He burned with golden innate energy, letting it blaze wildly. It formed a golden saber dozens of feet long, howling as it sliced through the air, coming right for my head. Bai family's signature, heaven-slaying blade. At the same time, over a dozen Bai and Black Eagle elites also drew their weapons. Countless blades and swords slashed down like a storm, like a raging downpour. Deadly attacks came at me from all sides. Facing such overwhelming force, there was no room left for me to dodge. I just shook my head calmly. The ordinary bamboo stick in my hand moved slowly in the air. But actually, it was incredibly fast, drawing a perfect circle. Everyone stared, shocked and in disbelief. A streak of icy blue, crystal clear true energy instantly surged from the tip of the bamboo stick. It transformed into a giant Taiji ice shield. Standing firm right in front of me. Extreme cold Taiji shield. Rumble. Countless fierce swords and blades. Plus Bai Wuxuang's terrifying god-slaying saber. All struck the Taiji ice shield at once. But not a single scratch appeared. Instead, in an instant, they were frozen solid by that terrifying cold energy. Turned to actual ice sticks. Solid ice in a split second. Then, with a flick of my wrist, with a crisp sound, they all shattered into flying icy fragments. Melting away into the air. What? That's impossible. Bai Wuxuang staggered back 3 steps, face pale. Coughing up blood nonstop. His whole right arm, from the recoil, was instantly frozen solid by the cold energy. He couldn't feel a thing. Not until this very moment did he realize that the blind beggar he had always looked down on was actually so powerful. At a truly terrifying level. Way beyond what he could ever resist. Ancestor, save me. Bai Wuxuang, terrified, cried out to Blackhawk Ancestor on the roof. But Blackhawk Ancestor had lost all his smugness and sarcasm. He stared at me with a heavy expression, his eyes full of shock and disbelief. Ninth level innate. You, blind guy. You've reached the peak of innate? For the first time, there was real fear in Blackhawk Ancestor's voice. Being peak 5th level innate himself, he was considered a powerhouse in the Great Xia Empire. But before a 9th level innate, a true master who controlled liquid true energy, he was still as weak as an ant that could be crushed at any moment. 9th level innate? When Bai Wuxuang heard that, his mind went blank. He collapsed to the floor in terror. He lost all courage to resist. Just what kind of monster did he provoke? I ignored their shock and fear. Master level movement skill, grass top flying. I instantly moved my body, leaving a beautiful icy blue arc in the air. Like teleportation, I appeared right in front of Blackhawk Ancestor. That normal bamboo stick now had several feet of extremely sharp and clear true energy formed on it. Several feet long, extremely sharp and pure energy. Extreme cold sword aura. Blackhawk Ancestor, thanks for bringing me those rare herbal seeds. To return the favor, you can stay here today. As soon as I finished speaking, I gently flicked my wrist. The bamboo stick slashed through the air like tearing through the sky, and struck out. No fancy moves in this attack. Just the absolute pressure of a 9th level innate supreme master. Like a tidal wave, sheer overwhelming power. Oh no. Blackhawk Ancestor was scared senseless, desperately unleashing all his true energy. On his body, 9 Blackhawk shields formed instantly, trying to block the attack. But before the extreme cold of the 9th level innate, all his defenses were as fragile as paper. Crack, crack. Shattering sounds filled the air. The 9 black shields broke apart instantly. That ordinary bamboo stick, glowing with icy blue sword aura, pierced straight through Blackhawk Ancestor's chest, pinning him to the stone tablet behind the roof. The extreme cold true energy instantly rushed through all his meridians, freezing all his blood and bones, even his core and soul, turning them all into red ice sculptures in a heartbeat. Blackhawk Ancestor's eyes widened, holding the last trace of unwillingness and endless fear. He just couldn't believe it. Pure terror. He just can't believe it. The great leader of Blackhawk sect, a true overlord, actually died in Jiangning City, on the roof of a small inn. And what took his life was nothing but a regular old bamboo pole. The Blackhawk Ancestor has fallen. Bai Wuxuang collapsed on the ground, staring at the now frozen, super powerful man on the roof. Too scared to even speak. His crotch is soaked. He's completely paralyzed. I'm standing on the roof. A slight shake. The bamboo pole shatters Blackhawk Ancestor's frozen body with a thud, breaking it into pieces. It turns into countless ice shards, drifting away with the wind. Under the night sky, catching a strange, dazzling light, I slowly turn around. Star Eye, coldly sweeping my gaze over the collapsed Bai Wuxuang below, and the remaining Blackhawk sect assassins. My icy voice echoes through the night. Bai Wuxuang, now it's your turn. Hearing my judgment, Bai Wuxuang completely breaks down. He crawls and rolls up to my feet, begging for mercy like crazy. Spare me, senior. Please, have mercy. The Bai family will give you all our property and the sacred herb seed. Please, let me live. I look down at him coldly. Anyone who tries to hurt me or those around me, I never leave any trouble behind. I raise my right hand slowly, forming a knife with my fingers. Bai Wuxuang screams in despair, full of unwillingness and pain. My finger lands right on his dantian. A surge of innate energy storms into his body, crushing his cultivation, and shattering all his meridians, wiping out his strength. Now he, like his son, is nothing but a cripple waiting to die. To a true martial master, this is way worse than just killing him. It's true agony. As for the rest of Blackhawk sect, and the elite Bai family assassins, after seeing my almost supernatural, terrifying skills, they already fled in terror. None dared pause for a second. That night, Jiangning was once again in turmoil. The infamous Blackhawk sect leader, and the head of the Bai family of Jinling, both fell before the inn's front door. And the one who ended it all was just a man with a bamboo pole, wearing ragged old clothes, a blind son-in-law. And my name, Lin Fan, would echo through the entire Great Xia Empire by the time the martial arts tournament started tomorrow. But I didn't know yet. As Blackhawk Ancestor and Bai Wuxuang died miserably, deep in the snowy Tianshan mountains of the far north, in an ancient forbidden place shrouded in blizzards all year, with rising white mist everywhere, a terrifying old man, pale and thin, covered entirely in white hair, suddenly opened both eyes. Twin beams of blood-red light shot right from his eyes, instantly melting several feet of thick ice in front of him. How dare you kill a Lin family outcast? Or steal the Tianshan snow lotus of the extreme ice bloodline? No matter who you are, I'll skin you alive and tear out your tendons, and crush your soul in the frozen abyss. This 1,000-year terrifying vow echoes in the far north, sending waves of chilling cold. But my martial legend is about to unfold on an even greater, grander stage, and reach its most brilliant moment. Next morning, at Yanwu Square of Jiangnan City, Great Xia Empire. Crowds everywhere. Red banners flying. The big Jiangnan martial arts tournament, held every 3 years, finally begins today, and opens with full glory. On the main seat in the center of the arena sit several men in fancy official robes. Middle-aged, looking elegant and dignified. They are imperial envoys sent by the royal family of Xia, here to preside over the event. Right beside them are the heads and elders of major Jiangnan families, and sect masters and elders. The head of the Lu family, Lu Lianshan, because of what happened yesterday, was also allowed to be present. His face full of pride and joy. All because, with me as the guardian, a supreme innate stage 9 master, the Lu family standing in Jiangnan. The Lu family standing in Jiangnan now quietly surpasses all other noble clans. I'm still in my ragged old clothes, wearing a rough blindfold, holding a bamboo pole, with Lu Wanqing and Lu Zian, the 2 sisters, looking after me gently, calmly, sitting quietly in a humble waiting area for contestants. When contestants walking by see me, even with all last night's rumors, they look at me with awe and curiosity. But the moment they see my beggar-blind look, they can't help whispering to each other, pointing fingers. But these commoner stares, in my star-eye world, are nothing but smoke. All my focus, right now, is locked on a white jade box at the top of the arena. Inside that white jade box sits a magical herb glowing with 7 colors. 9 little white flowers bloom at the top. The herb floats silently in midair. 9 leaf, 9 flower, 7 star grass. Under the senses of my star eye, this legendary sacred plant. Its power is incredibly vast and mysterious. Far stronger than any herb I've seen before. Dozens of times stronger. If I can get my hands on it, and grow it in my mystical medicine field, that legendary golden core state will be right within reach. 9 leaf, 9 flower, 7 star grass. It's mine, Lin fans. The first round of the tournament, as announced by the Imperial Envoy. The envoys officially kicked things off, and the matches begin quickly. With so many contestants, it's a brutal King of the Hill format. Anyone who can last 10 fights without losing will make it to the final 8. Fighters swarm the stage. True energy everywhere. Swords and blades flash with thuds and screams. Groans and cries fill the air. Many talented young warriors step up one after another, showing off their skills. The crowd below cheers wildly again and again. When are you getting up there? I'm itching for a fight. Want me to clear out a few for you first? Lu Zian can hardly hold back her excitement. Waving her little fist, eagerly says. I grin slightly, and gently pat her on the head. Be patient, kid. Watch how they fight first. It'll help you later. Lu Zian nods obediently, sitting quietly next to me. Right at this moment, a loud, arrogant voice booms over from the arena. Su Wudao from the Jinling Su family is holding the stage. Who dares challenge me? Come up and fight. I scan with my mind. I saw a young man in a white robe, standing confidently with a long spear. He radiated powerful energy of the first innate stage. His aura was strong and forceful. The spear tip glowed cold and sharp. He jabbed little holes into the hard black stone floor. Su Wudao, the unrivaled genius of the Jinling Su family. He's also a top contender for this martial arts tournament. As soon as Su Wudao entered the stage, with his masterful spear skills and innate power, in just a few moments, he easily defeated challenger after challenger, beating 9 top experts as if it was nothing. The crowd went completely silent for a moment. No one dared to step up and challenge again. Ha ha ha. What, is everyone in Jiangnan's martial world gutless? Not one of you dares to take a hit from me? No one at all. Su Wudao held his spear, glancing sideways at everyone below the stage. His face was full of arrogance and disdain. Finally, his gaze locked tightly onto the contestant section where I sat. A mocking sneer appeared at the corner of his mouth. That blind Lin fan, the one who crippled Bai Wushuang last night. Where are you? I heard you used a bamboo stick to defeat the Bai family and Black Eagle ancestor. I, Su Wudao, want to see today if your bamboo stick can withstand my blazing spear. Come up here and die. Come up here and die. Su Wudao's arrogant taunt echoed through the whole Yanwu Square. In that instant, all eyes instinctively followed his gaze, all focusing on me, sitting quietly in the corner. My eyes closed. Some pitied me, some were curious, and some looked eager for drama. Lu Wanqing grabbed my sleeve, worried, and quietly said, "Lin Fan, be careful, Su Wudao moves strangely, and his spear is super fast." I smiled calmly, gently patting her fair, soft hand, signaling her to relax. I slowly stood up, took an ordinary bamboo stick in hand, as Lu Zian looked at me with hope, and stepped forward. My movements seemed slow, but in fact were unbelievably strange, leaving faint icy blue afterimages as I moved. When the crowd finally saw clearly again, my slender body, eye patch on, in old, worn clothes, was already standing quietly across from Su Wudao. A fierce wind blew at my clothes, making a harsh flapping noise. Holding the bamboo stick, my face stayed calm. I radiated a deep, absolute peace, as if the roaring cheers all around were just illusions. "Blind guy, you finally made it." Su Wudao raised his spear horizontally, its tip blazing hot with inner energy. He gave a cold, arrogant snort. "Go ahead. I'll let you have 3 moves first." I lifted my head slightly. In the starlit world under my eye patch, Su Wudao's so-called flawless stance and energy, that flawless posture and energy flow, were instantly analyzed and exposed by my mind's eye, revealing many fatal weaknesses. I said flatly, "Let me have 3 moves? You wish. 1 move and you're finished. Get lost and die." Su Wudao was furious. His whole body exploded with intense fire energy. He turned into a blazing fiery streak, spinning his spear wildly, forming hundreds of burning spear images, as if to burn the very sky, rushing at me from all sides. Su family's legendary blazing prairie spear. The power in that spear was terrifying. The stage's black stone floor started turning red and began to crack under the intense heat wave. Countless people and weaker fighters in the crowd were forced to back away again and again. However, facing Su Wudao's world-shaking attack, I still stood there, calm as ever, and didn't even bother to lift my bamboo stick. Only when that blazing spear tip got barely an inch from my chest did I slowly raise my right hand, shaping my fingers like a knife. To everyone's shock, their eyes full of disbelief, I gently pointed at the spear tip, unleashing my chilling inner energy, shooting it out from my fingertip in an instant, shaping it into a. It shoots from my fingertips, becoming a razor-thin, but eerily clear ice-blue sword energy. The sword tip and the flaming spear clash midair with a bang. But the expected huge explosion doesn't happen. There's only a sharp icy crackling sound, echoing across the entire stage. The blazing true energy inside the spear, in just 1/1000 of a second after touching my ice-blue sword, gets snuffed out instantly by the freezing cold, and the spear is frozen into a solid black ice stick. Chilling true energy surges up the spear's shaft, under Su Wudao's look of utter disbelief and complete terror. In just 1/1000 of a second, his 2 arms are turned into sparkling clear ice statues too. "What? That's impossible." Su Wudao screams in terror. He desperately tries to let go of the spear and back away, but my cold energy is overpowering. He can't get away just because he wants to. I flick my wrist lightly, and that flaming spear made of refined steel shatters midair with a bang, bursting into thousands of icy shards, scattering everywhere. The fierce recoil and the chill smash Su Wudao straight off his feet. He slams hard into the edge railing of the stage. His whole body shivers from the freezing cold. His hair and brows are covered in thin frost. With that frost, he's got nothing left. Just 1 move, only 1 move. Jinling's legendary genius, Su Wudao of the Su family, was swept aside by me without effort. Totally defeated. The whole Yanwu square fell dead silent at this moment. The imperial officials on the stage pound their armrests and leap to their feet, with looks of shock and disbelief. "Who exactly are you, sir? How do you have such insane power?" And those below the stage, the dancers who came to see me fail, are even worse off. All their jaws hang wide open, nearly dropping their chins to the floor. A blind beggar beats Su Wudao with 1 finger. If you hadn't seen it yourself, who could believe it? Tears sparkle in Lu Wanqing's beautiful eyes. She cries with pride and excitement. That's her husband. The best choice of her whole life. Lu Zian is so happy, she jumps on the table and cheers, "Go brother-in-law. Brother-in-law is awesome." I calmly withdraw my finger and tap my cane gently on the floor, then turn my head and look up at the stunned official. I ask quietly, "Now, can I advance?" Of course you can." The host wipes sweat off his forehead and announces loudly, still shaking, "Young Master Lin Fan." 10 matches, all won. Now advancing to the top 8. I smile a little. And walk off the stage, slow and relaxed. To the wild cheers of the crowd. Heading back to the waiting area where I was. But what I didn't know was, after my amazing debut in the Great Summer Empire, at the martial tournament, high above the arena, in a tower, an old man in a golden dragon robe, with stern, white-haired features, is staring intensely at my back as I leave. His eyes fierce and icy. Innate extreme cold true energy. Turning fingertip to sword. This blind guy actually has the same name as that disgraced outcast from the Lin family. The blind beggar they kicked out. Could he really be that one? Left on the Jiangnan road years ago by the Lin family? Lin Fan. The old man's bony fingers tap on the dragon throne, making a low, rhythmic thump. If it really is him, then the North Lin family will never let him obtain the 9-leaf and 9-flower, or the 7-star grass. They won't let him break the Lin's hold on Jiangnan. Tonight in Jiangnan Mansion, it's bound to be a bloody mess. And my comeback journey will finally hit its wild climax as the secret of my past is exposed. Hit its wildest and fiercest peak. Hit its wildest moment. The most earth-shaking, dramatic scene yet. Deep in my heart, a seed called Lin Fan has already taken root. Watered with this mysterious healing tonic. It's shooting up to the heavens of the Great Summer Empire. Growing crazily. About to turn the entire empire totally upside down. Night falls, dark as ink. In a quiet mansion in Jiangnan City. After the chaos of the day, the whole city is now dead silent, like before a storm. Weak candlelight flickers in the room, casting Lu Wanqing and Lu Zian's faces with deep worry, drawing them out in long shadows. Lin Fan, after what you showed today, with that terrifying power at the tournament, the royal family and the North Lin family won't just let it go. I just got a secret message from my dad. He said the people who took you away back then and blinded you have already sent people into Jiangnan. They plan to erase you tonight. Lu Wanqing clutches my arm tight, tears shining in her beautiful eyes, her gaze full of fear and pleading. Brother-in-law, let's not do this tournament. We don't need the 7-star grass anymore. Let's just go back to Jiangning now. With you here, no one can hurt us. Lu Zi. No one can hurt us. Lu Zian's eyes are red with anxiety too. She just wants to drag me outside, no matter what. Looking at these two women, who've always been there for me through my struggles, I feel a wave of deep warmth. I reach out my hands, gently stroke their smooth hair, and softly touch their faces. With a bright and determined smile. Wanqing, Zian, some things can't be avoided just by hiding. Back then, they blinded me and tossed me out like trash on a Jiangnan street. That blood debt. Lin Fan. I'm getting my first payback tonight. Besides, now, I'm not that poor blind beggar who got pushed around anymore. Once I finish speaking, my terrifying innate energy surges, erupting in my body. Invisible force, deep as the sea, spreads everywhere. Starting from me, filling the whole house, making all the furniture tremble. In my mind's eye, my range now bursts to a 1-kilometer limit. Within 1 kilometer, isin ting muvamin. About 300 meters from my house, hidden in a little alley, are 8 strong dark figures, with a cold, bloody aura, moving like phantoms in the night. Quickly, really quickly, and completely silent, moving toward our courtyard. Those 8 people. Each one's aura is deep as the ocean. Their temples are strongly bulging. Even the weakest has reached innate level 3. And leading them is an old man in black. At innate level 5 peak. The icy cold innate energy he gives off somehow connects with the energy in my own body, creating a strange sense of similarity. Northern Lin family. Frost assassins. I scan with my mind's eye. Snippets of past life memories suddenly come back to me. So that's how it is. My own background. Back then, the Lin family fought for the real patriarch spot. Because I was born with the double pupil martial eye, they saw me as the biggest threat. They cruelly blinded me, destroyed my cultivation, and threw me away like a dying dog to the poorest area in Jiangnan. And now, they found out the abandoned one somehow came back to life, showed power at innate level 9's peak. So impatiently, they sent the family's top frost assassins, aiming to wipe out their only threat, crush me before I can rise. That's truly ruthless. What a cold family tie. But too bad for them. I've now got the Shenong Herbal Manual, my ultimate cheat. After the Luyan Mountain Treasure Vault. This cheat, the Shenong Herbal Manual, plus all I gained up in Luyan Mountain. Over 300 seeds and level 6 god pills. I'm already at the very peak of the innate realm. Tonight, these so-called frost assassins will all become fuel for my planting enterprise. The richest nutrients from just bones. I gently pushed the sisters into the bedroom and used my extreme cold innate energy right by the door to leave a super tough shield of frost. Wanqing, Xian, stay inside. No matter what happens outside, do not come out. Wait till I handle these losers. Then I'll take you to Wangjiang restaurant for braised carp. With that, I turned around without looking back, picked up that plain bamboo pole, took a step forward, and my body vanished into thin air. When I showed up again, I was standing quietly, right at the center of the empty yard, still wearing my worn-out old robe, rough eye patch on, holding a bamboo stick, just standing in the still, deserted courtyard. A night breeze drifted by, bringing a faint coolness. Within my 200-meter mental reach, 8 powerful shadows radiating cold, silently and smoothly, landed on the rooftops around the yard, all suited in black combat gear, eyes under the masks showing zero emotion, like frost ghosts from the underworld, like walking ice ghosts from the dark. This is the Northern Lin family's top fighting force. The head frost assassin, the old man in black, slowly floated down in front of me, 10 steps away. He stared at my plain bamboo stick, his old face twisting into a cold, cruel grin. Lin Fan, who would have thought that the wife abandoned with the stolen eyes could survive in ordinary Jiangnan, even reach this level in cultivation. Too bad you had to show off and tried to take what's not yours. The old man's voice was rough and icy, careless, full of disdain. I just stood right there, tapped the bamboo stick on the ground. The Northern Lin family, they stole my eyes, wrecked my life, and tossed me onto the streets of Jiangning like trash. Now you're back to kill me, huh? My voice sounded flat, with no emotion, but filled the air with unspoken power. Arrogant brat. Tonight I'll teach you. An outcast will always be an outcast. Attack. The old man shouted sharply. His body flashed and blurred. The 7 assassins behind him moved instantly, their shadows weaving together, icy innate power swirling madly in the air, forming a huge array covering the whole yard. In a blink, the 8-fold Arctic freeze array. Desolate ice prison. In a flash, the entire courtyard floor is quickly covered in a thick layer of frost. The temperature drops to the absolute extreme. Even the space itself emits a faint, strained cracking sound. Countless crystal-clear snowflakes condense out of thin air, turning into sharp ice blades across the sky. Aimed at my vital points, they sweep in like an overwhelming tide. This level of power is enough to make any Xiantian warrior despair. But in my eyes, this so-called desolate ice prison is as childish as a toddler's game. Regarding the purity of frost power, fused with the level 5 snow lotus, I am their true ancestor. I take a deep breath. The Xiantian 9th level chi within me surges wildly like a mighty river. The bamboo pole in my hand trembles slightly, and an ice-blue divine light bursts forth, forming a multi-foot-long frigid light sword. Without using any complex moves, I simply flick my wrist, releasing a perfected iron shirt aura, matched with my frigid chi. Seemingly at random, I sweep out an ice-blue crescent ripple. Taiji frost shield. Break. A crisp, bell-like ring explodes within the courtyard. The ice-blue ripple, centered on me, expands wildly in a circular wave. The howling blades of sharp ice, the moment they touch this ripple, couldn't even resist for a millisecond. They are instantly assimilated by the cold, vanishing into glittering dust in the air. Not only that, but the 7 Xiantian guards at the formation, the moment the ripple sweeps past, find their bodies frozen stiff on the spot. On their clothes, skin, and hair, clear blue ice crystals quickly spread. In the blink of an eye, 7 powerful Xiantian guards are turned completely into 7 lifelike, exquisite ice sculptures, reflecting the moonlight with gorgeous brilliance. As the night wind blows gently, these 7 ice sculptures emit a crisp cracking sound in the breeze. With a soft bang, they turn into flying glittering ice dust, vanishing with the wind into the night. No piercing screams, no unpleasant remains. Their limbs are so clean, it's as if they had never even existed in this world. This is the divine power of the 9th level. Control over frost. At the snap of a finger, the old man in front is completely stunned. His face, once full of arrogance and coldness, at this very moment, is twisted by extreme terror. At this very moment, is twisted by extreme terror. You're actually at the 9th level? How is this possible? When you were cast out back then, everything was clearly destroyed. How did you reach this level in a few years? The old man cries out in disbelief, his body backing away uncontrollably. In my mind's eye perception, the chi in his body has fallen into total chaos. Trying to run? Within my kilometer range. Where could he possibly escape to? Great success movement, grass glider. Instantly activated. My figure leaves an ice blue afterimage behind. The next moment, I am standing behind him without warning. My ordinary bamboo pole, resting gently on his shoulder. Cold chi instantly seeps into his clothes, surging through his shoulder into his meridians, locking his entire chi circulation completely in an instant. Old dog, now you can tell me, why did Lin Jia attack me back then? My voice is very low, yet carries an unquestionable authority. The old man trembles violently. The frigid chi wandering his meridians brings pain like 10,000 needles. He knows this blindfolded young man needs only a single thought to wipe him out completely. I'll talk. I'll talk. It was the great elder's idea. It was the great elder's idea to let his son inherit the leadership. While your father was away training, he poisoned the patriarch's soup. Then he forcibly took your innate pupils, wanting you to be a useless cripple. The old man's voice is full of fear, as he confesses everything. And my parents? Did they really abandon me? As I ask this question, my heart can't help but tremble slightly. In my remaining memories, my parents' images were always a blur. I had thought countless times that they despised me for being useless, and heartlessly cast me aside. No, when the great elder seized power, your father, to ensure your escape, fought all alone. He blocked 5 elders at the canyon, until his strength was completely spent. And before your mother died, she used her life's cultivation and essence to seal the clan's divine seed deep within your eyes, hoping you'd have a chance in the future. She trusted a confidant to send you to this remote Jiangning city. They did it to keep you alive. The old man shouts loudly, fearing a second's delay would mean death. Hearing the old man's words, in my mind, it's like a bolt of thunder from the heavens, shaking my very soul. My soul is trembling. So that's how it is. So that's how it is. The mysterious shop in my head, providing constant divine energy and miraculous herbs. It wasn't some unknown external cheat. That was my mother, using her life to form the divine seed. That was my father, using his life to buy me a chance. A surge of bitter sorrow and warmth instantly rushes to my heart. My eyes begin to well up, though my eyes are still shut, and I can see no light. The mind's eye world in my head suddenly becomes incredibly vast. A hot tear slides from the corner of my eye, reacting to the frigid chi. Instantly in midair, it condenses into a bright blue ice tear. It falls gently into my palm, with a pleasant clicking sound. Father, mother, I misjudged you. You never actually abandoned me. The great elder's lineage. For your own selfish gain, you stole my sight and killed my parents. This blood feud. If I, Lin Fan, do not settle this score, I am not fit to be human. My killing intent peaks in an instant. But looking at the collapsed old man, I take a deep breath of cool air, slowly calming my raging heart. Old dog, since you told me the truth about back then, I'll spare your life today. But with a quick twist of my wrist, a surge of pure, icy energy shot right into his dantian. It formed a complex, mystical frost seal. From now on, your cultivation will be totally sealed off. You're just an ordinary person now. Get back to the far north. Tell the Grand Elder to clean his neck and wait for me. It won't be long before I, Lin Fan, come to take his head myself. The old man felt like he'd been pardoned. Ignoring the pain in his body, he crawled and rolled out of the yard, vanishing into the dark night. After dealing with the assassins, I turned around and quietly looked at my now peaceful bedroom. My mind pierced through the frost barrier, and I saw the sisters, Lu Wanqing and Lu Zian, hugging each other, looking a little nervous. Their faces were full of worry. A warm feeling filled my heart. In this world, I am no longer alone. I have a wife who truly loves me, and family who trust me completely. With a wave of my hand, I removed the frost shield on the door. Then I slowly walked forward. I gently pushed the door open. When Lu Wanqing and Lu Zian saw me standing there safe and sound, their stunning faces instantly lit up with brilliant smiles. Brother-in-law, are you okay? Lu Zi. Brilliant, dazzling smile. Brother-in-law, are you alright? Lu Zian bounced over like a happy little bird and rushed into my arms. She grabbed my sleeve and looked me over carefully. It was really cold outside just now. Did a bunch of bad guys show up? I gave a slight smile, then handed her a shiny blue ice bead made from tears, and placed it gently in her hand. Just some lost little thieves, but I've already sent them packing. Do you like this ice bead? It's for you. Lu Zian held the glowing blue ice bead, which was incredibly beautiful. Her big eyes filled with wonder. Wow, it's gorgeous. You're the best, brother-in-law. Lu Wanqing gracefully walked up to me. Her eyes still glistened with tears, clearly shaken from what just happened. She quietly took out a delicate handkerchief from her sleeve and gently wiped the frost off my cheek. Her soft fingers touched my face, warm and comforting. As long as you're okay, don't do anything dangerous like this again. If something happened to you, Xian and I wouldn't know what to do. Seeing the deep love in my wife's eyes, my heart instantly melted. Don't worry, in this world, no one can hurt me anymore. To help them survive in this dangerous martial arts world, and have power to protect themselves, I've decided that tonight, I'll use the 100-year-old purple vine medicine Lu Wanqing gave me, to make a batch of ice jade pills that can strengthen their bodies. This is a grade 4 top spirit pill, and with my advanced alchemy skills, it can perfectly nourish all the energy channels, letting regular martial artists transform. Night fell. I went back to my room, locked the door, and focused my mind on the mystical herb field. After transplanting the Tianshan snow lotus, the spiritual farm has now expanded to about 10 acres. The spring water glows with a soothing green light, flowing quietly through the earth. I picked liang grass, shenbing flower, danchao, and the essence of 100-year-old red ginseng, and put them all into the century-old copper cauldron. With my own icy true energy, I lit a blue flame, and started refining everything steadily. Time slipped by without me noticing. It was almost midnight, when the whole room suddenly filled with a gentle and pleasant herbal fragrance. The scent was like spring melting the ice, flowers blooming for the first time, and just breathing it in made your whole body feel great. Under my control, 3 pale pink pills, with soft, swirling cloud patterns, floated quietly in the cauldron. I put away the pills, opened the door, and took out 2 of them. The emperor gave 2 of the pills to Lu Wanqing and Lu Xian. Take these pills now. They'll help you transform. The sisters had no doubt about my words. They obediently put the pills in their mouths. The medicine melted instantly. It turned into a gentle, warming stream, flowing through their bodies. In an instant, brilliant white light started to glow from them. Lu Xian, who was at martial mortal level 7, broke through 2 levels in a flash, and reached the peak of level 9. Lu Wanqing also felt her energy surge inside, breaking through the barrier, and stepping straight into innate level 1. Even more amazing, their skin became even fairer and smoother, as flawless as jade, soft and spotless, like fairies from the heavenly jade pool, gently glowing with celestial energy. Wow, how did my skin get so good? And my inner energy is so much stronger. Brother-in-law, you're like a god. Lu Xian looked into the bronze mirror, seeing her face become more lively and beautiful, and spun excitedly around the yard. Lu Wanqing also looked shy and happy, gazing at me with deep affection. Lin Fan de Fu, having you like this is all I could wish for. Seeing my wife's bright, lovely smile, I just felt my heart full of satisfaction and motivation. My training, my strength, is not just for revenge, but to protect this rare happiness. On the 3rd morning, at the Yanwu Square in Jiangnan Prefecture, Daxia Empire, it was packed with a sea of people. The Jiangnan Martial Arts Tournament had entered the final showdown. It would decide the fate of a 500-year-old wine flower and the Qixing grass, most important prize. The arena rose high in the center, surrounded by tight defense formations. On the stage above, several Daxia royal envoys in elegant robes stood with serious faces. In front of them, there was a white jade box made from 10,000-year-old ice. Looking through the box, you could see a legendary herb glowing with 7 colors, hovering quietly in the air. Such a treasure made the many martial artists below breathe harder, eyes burning with greed and desire. After many brutal rounds, only 2 were left standing on the final stage. Just 2 contestants remained. One was me. The other was the famous heir of Sword Pavilion, Yi Qingtian. At only 25, he was already a top swordsman at innate level 3, with a green sword and amazing skill, known throughout Jiangnan. With a green bronze sword, masterful skills. He's called the rarest sword talent in a century. Now he wore a plain blue robe, sword on his back, walking calmly onto the stage, cheered by the crowd. Striding up with ease, he looked at me carrying a bamboo staff. No arrogance in his eyes. Instead, he cupped his hands with deep respect. Yi Qingtian from Sword Pavilion greets Lin Fan. Last night I heard you defeated the Black Hawk Elder in a single feast. I admire you greatly. Today's duel, please give me your guidance. Yi Qingtian was calm and generous, not arrogant like other young nobles. It made me respect him too. I nodded slightly and returned the greeting. Lin Fan from Jiangning, at your service. Yi Qingtian said no more. In a flash, he drew his sword. And it let out a sharp, ringing sound. His sword turned into a streak of green light in his hand. Flicking the tip, fierce sword chi burst out everywhere. In midair, it condensed into 7 dazzling stars, ripping through with unstoppable power, covering me from all sides. Sword Pavilion's ultimate, 7-star slash. This sword was insanely strong. The black rock floor around the stage buckled under the sword energy's pressure, groaned under the strain, cracking loudly from the force. The audience watched in awe, cheering loudly. No wonder he soared Pavilion's air. Such skill is unmatched among the young. With my 200-meter sense, this was a great sword strike. But with our level gap, there were still clear flaws. I smiled calmly. I didn't even use my ultimate frozen true energy. I just lifted my bamboo staff and infused gentle Tai Chi power into it, blending it in. The staff traced a light semicircle in the air, moving so smoothly. A breeze blew out from its tip. The stars coming at me, when they met the breeze, didn't explode at all. It was as if invisible hands calmed them. The sword light flickered in the air, then bloomed into sparkling ice flowers, snowing gently onto the stage. The whole giant arena instantly became a beautiful snow scene of sword light and frost. Under the sunlight, it shimmered in all colors, so stunning it took your breath away. Is this really a fight? It's like a display. A truly masterful snow painting. With magical skill. Yi Qingtian stared at the falling ice flowers. Stunned in place. He realized, if this young man wanted his life, just now, he'd already be an ice sculpture, able to resolve his strongest attacks so elegantly. Their power gap was huge. Like heaven and earth. I lost. Your martial skills, Lin Fan, are at the highest level. I admit defeat sincerely. Yi Qingtian sheathed his sword and bowed deeply to me, eyes full of admiration and awe. The crowd first went silent, then erupted in thunderous applause and wild cheers. Lin Fan is number 1. Lu Zian stomped with joy below, pulling Lu Wanqing's arm, shouting, "Sis, look. Brother-in-law is awesome." Lu Wanqing watched me standing on stage, surrounded by drifting ice flowers, her face beaming with pride and happiness. The Daxia envoy stepped down from the stage, handed me the white jade box with the qixing grass and wine flower, delivering it respectfully to my hands. "Sir Lin, your skills are a blessing to our empire. This divine herb is now yours." As I took the box, feeling inside it the vast, indescribable spiritual power, I finally felt totally relieved. With this, tonight I can fully advance the legendary Golden Core stage. It's late and quiet. I'm sitting on the brand new jade bed in the inn. I take out the 9-leaf 9-flower 7-star herb. With a flash, I go straight into the mysterious pharmacy. Right now, my power has surged. The level 2 spirit field shakes violently in an instant. Spiritual energy skyrockets by several multiples. I take the 9-leaf 9-flower 7-star herb and plant it right in the center of the field. Spring water instantly envelopes it. Buzz. A crisp, ethereal sound explodes in my mind. The spirit field instantly expands like crazy. From 10 acres to 100. The spring water fully upgrades to the purest jade pool divine water. It gives off a thick aura of life. Congrats, host. You have planted the tier 6 divine herb, 9-leaf 9-flower 7-star herb. Spirit field upgraded to level 3 spirit yuan. You gain 5 strands of true energy. 100 years of supreme veins begin to fully awaken. Boom, 100 years of pure true energy rushes in like a vast ocean. It pours into my 8 meridians. The innate true energy at my dantian is compressed right at this moment to the core. The innate true energy is squeezed to the extreme, from gas to liquid. Finally, it forms a dazzling, ice blue golden core. I've broken the mortal limits at the golden core stage. Stepped into the legendary realm where one lives 5 centuries, mastering the laws of heaven and earth as a demigod. Though my eyes remain tightly closed, unable to see any light, the world behind my blindfold is pitch black and void. But at this moment, the star-eye world in my mind expands wildly. From a range of 1 kilometer, it suddenly jumps to a 10-mile radius. Within these 10 miles, every falling leaf, every flapping bird, every breeze blowing by, all appear crystal clear inside my star-eye world. Even the minerals buried deep in the earth stand out as clearly as a painting, displayed in my mind. Though my eyes see no light, my spiritual sense now is 1,000 times clearer than vision alone. This is my way, my unique heart's eye path. I slowly push open the door and walk out excitedly. In the yard, Lu Wanqing and Lu Zian wait anxiously outside. when they see me smiling, though I'm still wearing my black blindfold. But the aura I give off is completely otherworldly. On their beautiful faces. Those beautiful faces instantly fill with shock and endless joy. Lin Fan, you did it. Lu Wanqing's voice is shaking. She can't hold back her tears anymore. I walk over gently and softly hold her in my arms. I wipe the tears from her cheeks. We made it, Wanqing. No one can tear us apart ever again. Wanqing cries on my chest like a child, letting out all those years of sorrow and happiness in one burst. Lu Zian is bouncing with joy beside us too. Brother-in-law, you're amazing. From now on, you're the greatest hero in the land. I hold my wife close, though my eyes still can't see the colors of this world. In my star-eye world, the sisters' radiant smiles outshine any scenery on earth. I turn to the distant northern sky, with a cold glint flashing in my eyes. Elders of the Grand Clan, wait for me in the far north. When I settle things in Jiangnan, I'll come see you myself. Every old grudge will be settled, one by one. The sunlight shines down on us, casting our 3 long shadows on the ground. A legendary immortal story of Lin Fan is just now opening its most glorious page. In the world of my heart's eye,